Channel 5, St. Louis.
St. Louis Cardinals baseball. St. Louis Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, Brewers of Budweiser, Bud Light, Michelob, Michelob Light, Natural Light, Busch, and L.A. This game is brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers. For all that you do, this Bud's for you. And by your St. Louis Toyota dealers and Toyota, the maker of quality cars and trucks. And by Schnucks, the friendliest stores in town. Another great home team. And by your neighborhood Taco Bell restaurant. Say hello to Taco Bell. Now, St. Louis Cardinals baseball. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Astrodome. They call it the eighth wonder of the world. It's where baseball started indoors. And the Cardinals in Houston opening a three-game set here tonight. Jay Randolph along with Mike Shannon. Jack Buck will join us a bit later on. Happy to have you with us. Birds took 2 out of 3 in Atlanta.
And they're in first place. The Cubs lost today. Nolan Ryan, a tough cookie tonight. Tim Conroy for the Cards.
And Mike will be back with the starting lineups right after these messages.
You must have called it all.
Astrodome, Houston, Texas. We're set to play baseball as Nolan Ryan has completed his warm-up tosses. Here's what the Cardinal lineup looks like as you see Vince Coleman walking in. And that'll be Tim Conroy, the hurler for the Redbirds. Coleman, Smith, Pendleton, Clark, McGee, and Herr, Ford, Lake, and Conroy, the Redbird hurler. For the Astros, Hatcher, Doran, Cruz, Davis, Garner, Bass, Ashby, Thon, and Nolan Ryan, one of the best ever. Here for the play-by-play to bring you a Cardinal win tonight is Jennings Randolph. He's fresh from about 8 or 9 different counties in the last 24 hours, and he is rolling.
Well, I've been in a lot of cities in the last few days. You're right. Pleasant good evening, everybody, and welcome to Cardinal baseball. Nolan Ryan, 2 and 3. Coleman at the dish, and the first pitch is high for a ball. Jim Quick calls the balls and strikes tonight at first base. Charlie Williams. John Kibler's out at second, and Bruce Frumming is the umpire at third. The Redbirds, best hitting team in the National League with a .287 team overall batting average coming into tonight. 2 balls and no strikes. Cruz, Hatcher, and Bass in the outfield. Garner, Thon, Doran, and Davis on the infield. And Nolan Ryan and Ashby are the battery tonight. And that's ball 3. Coleman in 1987, a much more disciplined man at the plate. He's batting .291, 11 runs batted in, leads the league in stolen bases with 26. That one's in there for a strike. Nolan Ryan with that 2 and 3 record already has 63 strikeouts this year. That's just behind his teammate Scott, who has 78. Coleman tied for 4th in the National League in walks, as you saw. And this one caught the inside corner, and we have a full count. Coleman has hit in 5 of his last 6 games.
Your touring pro is here to give you instructions for your golf game tomorrow, Jay.
Charlie Epps, one of the fine professionals in golf today. Swing and a miss, strikeout. So Coleman, who watched 3 poor pitches from Ryan, strikes out to start this game.
Well, you say Nolan Ryan's getting old, can't throw hard anymore. Forget all about that. He has averaged this year more strikeouts per 9 innings than he has throughout his career.
For Ryan, that was 2,341 in his career, the Major League strikeout king. Here's the Wizard, batting .264. Ozzie was 16 runs batted in. Fouls it off to the left side, out of play.
Ryan has more strikeouts than 90% of all the pitchers that have ever played the game have innings pitched.
An amazing athlete. And he took something off that one.
That change up and turning the fastball over we talked about before the ball game.
0-2. Ryan from Refugio, Texas, had elbow problems last season. 2-3 this year, 2.45 ERA. That's out of the strike zone.
Jay, he made a very smart decision last year. He had every doctor that he talked to, every club official, everyone. They wanted to operate on his arm. He said, no way, Jose. And he was right.
Ozzie fouls this one back.
You know, he probably needed an arm operation. There was no doubt about that. But at his age, I think he made the correct decision.
Well, he's hung in and he's still firing, averaging 9.8 strikeouts per game last season. A little low as Ozzie laid off of that one. Ryan was originally drafted number 5 by the Mets in '65, swapped to the Angels in '72 for Jim Fregosi.
Wouldn't you like to know who those 4 guys before him were?
we ought to look that up. This is fouled away. Nolan Ryan signed here with Houston as a free agent in '79. The Cardinals shortstop. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out, opening inning of this 3-game series. Ozzie throws the bat at it, out to Doran and on to Davis. There are 2 out.
Once again, he used the changeup to get Ozzie Smith. Ryan is completely a different pitcher this season than we've ever seen him before. Here's the changeup. He had Ozzie way out in front, broke his bat, and an easy play for Doran.
Ryan now to face Terry Pendleton, who has hit in 15 straight games. That's the longest streak in Terry's career. .338 the average. The Cardinal third baseman has been sizzling. Fouls this one away.
That was a sizzler there. That fastball was 90 plus. What a pitcher he is now, Jay. When he combines that fastball, his very good curveball. He's always had a great curveball. And then he starts cutting the fastball, turning it over, changing up. You know, he's a better pitcher the last 3 years than he ever has been in his career. And his record indicates that. Up until 3 years ago, this guy was just about a .500 pitcher. But he's erased that.
That's a strike that caught the inside corner. Atlanta beat Chicago at Wrigley Field. They hit the long ball today, did the Braves. Pendleton, you know, he had a 9-game hitting streak earlier in the year. This one out into center. Hatcher is on the move, makes the play. So Ryan gets the Cardinals 1-2-3 after a half inning of play here in the Dome in Texas. No score. It'll be Hatcher, Doran, and Cruz. Set up defensively as it'll be Tim Conroy getting the call tonight. Coleman, McGee, and Ford, Pendleton, Smith, Hurd, Clark, Conroy, and Lake. And in case you are not aware of it, the Cardinals have activated left-handed reliever Ken Daly. He pitched yesterday, as you probably know, and the Redbirds today activated catcher Tony Pena from the 21-day DL and optioned catcher Tom Pagnozzi to Louisville. What a fine job Tom did.
Everybody that Whitey Herzog's called off the bench this season has done a phenomenal job. But Ken Daly is a tremendous story. He came into the ball game yesterday down in Atlanta with runners at first and third, nobody out. First man hit a line drive to the shortstop. And then he got Greg Nettles to hit into a double play. He set him down 1-2-3 in the ninth. And as the final out was recorded, he just jumped up and down with joy, and he had tears of joy coming down his cheeks, Jay.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, an unbelievable comeback. And here's a kid that very seriously thought he would never ever pitch again.
I remember very well talking with him at the time of his operation, and it was a traumatic time for Daly. Well, here's Billy Hatcher. 327 is the average. 3 home runs, 18 runs batted in. Third in the league in steals with 14. Tied for third with hits, 51. He's hitting 5 of his past 6. Conroy, the left-hander, comes into Hatcher, and he went around for strike 1. Hatcher, 26 years of age, came here in December of '85 with Steve Engel from the Cubs in the Jerry Mumphrey deal. This is slapped into right. Ford is coming to make the play.
I tell you, Ford has really played well defensively for the Cardinals in right field. And that looked like just a routine play. But it's not routine in this ballpark because it's enclosed. And the depth perception here is very difficult, especially for a fella that hasn't played much here for a youngster. And you have to be very alert, and you have to concentrate in this ballpark.
Billy Doran hitting only .215. He has 18 runs batted in, though. Doran will be 29 years old on the 28th of this month, from Cincinnati. Conroy throws high. Doran was an All-American at Miami of Ohio, one of the most popular universities in America these days. He's been the key to their inner defense, this fella.
Is that a derogatory?
No, it's the truth. It's one of the hardest, toughest places. Boy, they got so many people want to go to school there, it's not funny. They ought to open another spot someplace there. Two balls and one strike, one out. Doran, first Astro to steal 40 bases since Cesar Cedeno did it in 1980. This fellow's a pretty good all-round ball player, but he struggled here at the start of this season. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Astros, with a record of 20-19, have won only 4 of their last 10 games, and they've lost their last 2.
I tell you, when you come in a ball club in first place like the Cardinals are, and a ball club like Houston struggling a bit, playing against the first place club and a good ball club like the Cardinals with their tradition and everything, usually that'll stir a bunch up that's kind of been laying benign.
Well, up to now, they've only scraped the veneer off their potential, certainly. This is slapped off to the right side. The Dodgers are out in front of the Mets 3-0.
Run that line past me again. Scrape the veneer.
Scrape the veneer off their potential.
Is he a left-hander or a right-hander veneer?
Al Veneer, right. 2-0. The Phillies lead.
You're
the
hot
Giants
tonight, Jennings. Hot tonight.
That's off and upstairs over the right side.
Well, they send you down in that Dixieland and you get hot.
Pirates and the Reds are tied 1-1. Well, I've been to Savannah and Hilton Head and back to Atlanta and into Columbia, South Carolina, and
never saw a racetrack or a golf course the whole time.
No, I did. And Birmingham, Alabama. Saw the new racetrack there. But it's been a whirlwind trip. Speaking of trips, John Pertzborn, whose marvelous series ends tonight with a look at Albuquerque, and I'm sure why St. Louis is a lot better spot than Albuquerque. John is here with us tonight, and I hope you've enjoyed it all week long, as Mr. Pertzborn has kind of traveled across America. Today's show doing the same thing, featuring some cities. And John's going to sit in with us here in the second inning and bat the breeze a little bit about what he's been doing. Here's the first walk of the game. Bill Doran gets the pass. Conroy, 27 years of age, from Monroeville, Pennsylvania. Doran is down there at first with 1 out, and here is Jose Cruz, the former Cardinal. Cruz has hit in 4 of his last 5, 13 of his last 15. Cruz batting .273, 15 runs batted in. What a fine career Cruz has had here as he takes a strike.
The pitch that you just saw Tim Conroy throw, the curveball, to me, Jay, that's the key pitch for him. If he can get that curveball over occasionally and add that to his fastball and his changeup, he will become a consistent pitcher and a consistent winner.
Well, I've never questioned his talent. That was low and in the dirt. Conroy, of course, came to the Cardinals along with Mike Heath for Joaquin Andujar in December of '85. He was 5-11 last season, 0-1 against Houston in his career. Doran there at first base with Clark Holding. Matt Galante is the coach at first base for the Astros. The 1-1 offering. High fly ball down the right side. Ford coming over toward the line. He's there. Oh, they're 2 gone. And Glenn Davis will come to the plate.
This kid Davis is a sleeping giant right now. You know how well he played last year, and he had a contract dispute, was a holdout, came late to spring training, and it's really very difficult for a youngster to start a season like that. It's a new experience for him, but he's always hit well against the Cardinals, and You've got to be very careful of this strong right-handed hitter.
He's 6'3", 210 pounds, 26 years old, from Jacksonville, Florida. Conroy brings it to him, and he caught the inside corner with a nice pitch. Davis, runner-up to Mike Schmidt in the '86 MVP voting, and the only second Astro to hit 30 home runs.
Jimmy Wynn had to be.
Jimmy Wynn did it twice, as I remember.
The toy cannon.
That one's a little low. Davis, who came through a rather rocky childhood, was the #1 draft pick in the secondary phase of the January '81 draft. Hit .304 against the Cardinals last year with 4 home runs.
He'll be sitting on the fastball right here. We'll see what Tim Conroy comes up with.
Got the fastball, and it's fouled back.
A little too hot to handle. He's throwing well tonight, Tim is.
This Astro club has scored only 154 runs. That's the low in the National League at this point. Cardinals, on the other hand, 210 runs coming into tonight's game. Doran at first base with 2 gone. Doran is going, and here is a shot into the gap in left. McGee coming over, and they're going to wave Doran home, and he is in, and they lead it 1-0. Well, the runner going on the pitch. A double and an RBI for Davis.
You could smell that one coming. Conroy looked over there a couple of times prior to going to the stretch. And, of course, Doran had a tremendous jump. And that jump and starting the runner let him score easily. Say one thing for him. Davis is struggling a little with the bat, and anytime you have the runner going, that makes a hitter concentrate a little better, and it pays off.
Well, that's a good point, Mike. Here's Phil Garner, the veteran. Garner batting .247. Trying to pick up another run for the Astros here in the early going. A strike on the outside corner. Garner's now 38 years old, from Jefferson City, Tennessee. Came from Pittsburgh in August of '81 for Johnny Ray and Randy Neiman and Kevin Houston. He platooned, of course, with Walling. Hit .265 last season. That's low. Out there at second, Glenn Davis. This is the first of a 6-game homestand for the Astros. Won 99 games and lost 66 to get the victory in the National League West last year, and then lost to the Mets. That's low. The Astros have been struggling, but a lot of people might forget that they were struggling last year. They were behind the Giants at the All-Star break and ended up winning the National League West by 10 games.
Yeah, they were just about at this point last year as they are this season.
Into center field. McGee coming on, gets there. But the Astros come up with a run, the walk and the double. And after an inning of play here in the Dome, Houston 1, St. Louis nothing. Clark, McGee, and Herr due up for the Birds. An inning of play here in the Dome. Jack Clark will lead it off to start the second inning. First of a 3-game series here in the Dome. John Pertzborn joining us here now in the booth, and we'll have a chance to talk things over with John about his travels. As there we are. See, here
How you doing?
Look, you're on television. How you like it here?
A new experience.
What do you think of this view we have from up here?
I tell you, we should get one of these domes in St. Louis.
Well, we're going to get one someday. Bill Bidwell would like to have one, I guess, but you know, I think probably a lot of the major cities, John, will have to have facilities like this probably by the year 2000, because you can't bid for the NCAA basketball tournament after next year unless you have 30,000 seats and things like that. It'll be interesting to see what does happen with the Dome Stadium. This is where it all happened, right here. You know,
this
they
was
tried
the first one, right?
They tried to grow grass in here, and it wouldn't work, and that's why we have AstroTurf.
Yeah.
And of course, they've painted the roof a couple of different colors since then. But Judge Hoffines, when he built this place, a lot of people thought he was a little out of sync, but it turned out that he knew what he was doing. 2 balls and 1 strike. Clark watches this one go by, 3-1. Well, you have been doing a lot of traveling. I'm used to that, but I'm sure that you've had some very interesting experiences along the way as you've done this series, of course, in conjunction with what the Today Show has been doing.
Oh, I tell you, we've been to Pittsburgh, Minneapolis, Nashville, Denver, Albuquerque tonight. We saved the best for last.
Really? Albuquerque the best? I've had a chance to see the entire show, of course. Pittsburgh and Albuquerque tonight on the Eyewitness News update at 10. Jack Clark is the second strikeout for Nolan Ryan. First time you've seen Ryan in person?
This is the first. Getting back to Albuquerque, though.
Oh, let's get back to Albuquerque.
They've got an arch down there.
Do they really, John?
Yeah, it's a little bit smaller, made out of a helicopter propeller blade, they explained to me. Obviously, they don't have the capital like they do in St. Louis.
Well, I've been to Albuquerque, and I suppose it's all right, but
it's not St. Louis.
No, it's not St. Louis. Here is Willie McGee batting at .252. Ryan throws high. Let's talk a little bit about each one of these cities that you did visit. You know, I travel the length and breadth of this country, and I'm so proud to be a resident of the St. Louis area, and have been now for 21 years. And we've got a marvelous community and a marvelous area. That's not to say that these other towns don't, but
no. What you notice, though, the people are friendly, but they're not like the people in St. Louis. Honestly, it's a different type of Midwest friendliness.
It's not just the buildings, the art galleries,
every
the roads and the
same.
highways. It's the people that inhabit them. Huh?
That's right. Pittsburgh was probably the most violent as far as people being proud of their city.
Yeah,
they were very proud.
This one is fouled out of play off to the left side. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Willie. Well, Pittsburgh's a town that, of course, I spent a lot of time in my early days in broadcasting. Started just about 100 miles south of there. A lot of good golf courses, a lot of good Italian restaurants, and pretty good people there. I like the Pittsburgh
That's also
area.
where the television industry had its roots.
That's right.
Beginning there.
Down the line, first baseball game ever broadcast was broadcast on KDKA in Pittsburgh. And they've got a great deal to be proud of. They've made the transition from a city that relied on steel to relying now on so many other things.
And they don't have steel mills.
Nope.
What they're trying to call the place now is the Silicon Valley of the East Coast.
Is that right?
Believe it or not.
Well, Pittsburgh. Now, what about some of the other
Well,
places?
then we went off to Minneapolis.
Yes.
A tough city to get down, because Minneapolis is an area, I'm from Wisconsin, which is near Minneapolis.
Shopping under glass there.
Under glass. It gets so cold, the folks have to shop under glass. They've got a tall building there called the IDS building. At one time, it was the tallest building in that city, if it isn't still. Beautiful building, though. You go inside of there and the sun beams down on you, and you would think it was summertime, even though it is maybe 60 below zero wind chill factor.
They've got an indoor stadium, the Metrodome. Good for football, not very good for baseball.
It collapses from time to time.
Yes, it does. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 out. 1-0. The Astros leading the Cardinals. And fouled away again. And after Minneapolis?
Well, then we went down to Nashville, Music City, USA. I tell you, we were looking for some of the big stars, and the closest we came was a wax replica of Willie Nelson. But it was exciting, Jake. You should have been there.
Nashville, Tennessee. Yes, sir. Well, Vanderbilt's a good school. And
friendly people.
Garner throws out McGee, and there are 2 gone. Well, it'll be up to Tommy Herr as the Redbirds are down 1-0 early. Nashville is a town that, of course, a lot of stars have been made. No question about that. That's where Elvis did his first recording, I guess.
I think that was at CBS Records, right there on Music Row. Surprisingly, though, the music industry is not their main industry there. They print the Gideon Bible in Nashville. And if I'm not mistaken, that's where they also make the chewing tobacco.
Ryan comes into Tommy Herr, a long one into left, but Cruz is stepping back, and he will make the play. So Ryan has handled the first 6 that he has faced. We've played an inning and a half. We'll continue to talk things over with John Pertzborn when we come back right after this. join us tomorrow night, 7:30, and Sunday at 1:30. The Cardinals in action against these Astros. Tuesday, June 2nd, we'll be coming to you live from Cincinnati, and also on the 3rd. And then we're happy to bring you the news that we're going to televise all 4 of the Cub games. All 4 of the Cub games coming up in June for you. A Thursday afternoon, Friday afternoon, Saturday afternoon, and Sunday afternoon from up in Wrigley Field. And
it's a lot of games.
Yeah, we've just added those games against Chicago, and that's the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Kevin Bass leading it off here in the 2nd inning. Bass batting .289, blossomed into an all-star last season. He was the top regular in '86 with a .311 batting average. And 2 balls and no strikes. Well, after Nashville, let's see, it was Denver, wasn't it?
We flew off to Denver. Quite a city. You go up into the mountains, and if you're not prepared, you can pass out.
Yes.
The air is thin.
Popped up down the right side. Ford is coming on. Can he get there? He does, in foul ground. Nice play. Ford moving across the line just in front of the bullpen area to make the play. We'll take a look at this again, John. This fellow's done an excellent job.
Mighty fine catch.
Good concentration. Makes the play. Alan Ashby will be at the dish, batting .311. 17 runs batted in. Ashby caught 3 no-hitters last season. He's the 11th catcher in Major League history to do that. The last before him was Jeff Torborg in '73. Ashby hitting .311 with 17 runs batted in. Swing and a miss for strike 1. A lot of smog in Denver.
Yeah, they've got a problem. It's a big brown polluted cloud hanging over the city, and it comes from automobiles and wood-burning stoves. And they've been trying to correct that for quite some time.
Down the line, foul ball. Bruce Fleming makes the call. And we'll pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Cardinals Television Network.
KSDK, Channel 5 in St. Louis.
Jay Randolph along with Mike Shannon. Jack Buck will be along a bit later on, talking things over with John Pertzborn about his series that will be ending tonight.
Jay,
Eyewitness News Update.
Did you ever have Rocky Mountain oysters?
Gee, Rocky Mountain oysters. No, I don't think so. I want you to tell me what they are, as Clark
I think I'm afraid
makes the play. You're afraid to tell me, are you? Because you figure I have had
About the only way we can say it on the
now be careful. This is a family show.
That's right. The fellow explained to me the Bulls they came from are now singing soprano.
I see.
So that's all we're going to say about
All right. Dickie Thon stands in. Thon is batting .143.
Good game so far.
Well, it is. If we could get the 1 on the other side of the board, maybe we'll get a few. I expect you to do some heavy rooting after
Well, I
you
think
step away from here.
Houston people have, if they've seen the series, they're worried. I'm here, and might put a little pressure on.
Might put a little pressure on. 1 ball and 1 strike to Thon. Conroy facing the Astros for the 3rd time in his career. Astros batting .254 as a team, have hit 30 home runs coming into tonight. That's fouled away. Well, now what about what we're going to see tonight? Let's get to
tonight
Albuquerque.
is Albuquerque, and they call it the state in Mexico, the land of enchantment. It is an exotic place. It's not St. Louis though, Jay. It's a brown semi-arid desert area.
That's inside, 2-2. Well, as you've traveled around, I'm guessing that you've learned to appreciate our area even more.
Oh yes. St. Louis is a city that has little competition. Seriously.
I know we've got the finest baseball fans in all the world.
Oh, yeah. Did receive a phone call from one woman from Minneapolis. Was a little upset with the story.
You did, huh?
She said you were dealing with stereotypes. And I said, thank you for the call. St. Louis is better.
A shot into left. Oh, Thon got good wood on that. The second hit of the game for Houston. 2-out single here in the second. Thon trying to come back from that terrible shot that he took a few years ago. Got out there quickly. Nolan Ryan has 3 runs batted in and a home run, batting .067. Conroy, close play at first. Charlie Williams, the first place umpire. In the first inning, after Hatcher had flied to right, Doran got a walk, and Doran has not been getting on base. He did here in the first inning, and he eventually scored as he was moving with 2 out when Davis doubled into the gap in left center. Conroy just misses inside.
You know, over in Albuquerque, surprisingly, I found it surprising at least, quite a few Cardinal fans. They don't have any major league teams in that area.
Everywhere that we go, John, of course, we run into Cardinal fans because naturally they gravitate around the team, and they also will take their vacations to come and see the team in action in cities, and it's marvelous wherever you go. And of course, they have quite a vast network in these days of remarkable electronic abilities to get the signal all over the world.
The United States is shrinking.
It really is. The world is shrinking. 2 balls and no strikes. Runner goes. Throw to second. Not in time as the ball tied up in the legs of Dickie Thon. Thon with the stolen base. Thon got a good jump on Conroy. The pitch was a little low, tough to handle. And you can see Lake's throw getting tangled up in the runner's feet there as Herr could just stand there and see what was going to happen. Now 3 balls and no strikes to Ryan. And Conroy walks Nolan Ryan on 4 pitches. John, you're aware that that's not a good idea.
No, no.
Billy Hatcher will come to the plate with 2 on and 2 out. 1-0 Astros. Charles and Beverly Potgin are celebrating their honeymoon here in Houston, watching the Cardinals, and here from the St. Louis area.
The only thing better than that is to celebrate it at Busch Stadium.
Hey, well, I hope they'll come by and see the Cardinals sometime soon. Hatcher with a chance to do some damage. And Conroy having trouble finding the plate. And right now he's going to talk things over.
You know, in St. Louis, Jay, we're known as the beer capital of the United States. Albuquerque is the nuclear capital of the United States.
Yeah,
that's where they do all of the nuclear little experiments down there.
Our pitching coach, Mike Rourke, out trying to communicate to Conroy what the problem might be with his mechanics, as he's all of a sudden hit a bad streak control-wise. We talked about Conroy's tremendous talent and the speed of his moving fastball and the ability to throw an off-speed curve, but there are times when he has trouble finding the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. Hatcher standing in with 2 on and 2 out. He sits safely in 32 of Houston's first 39 games. Got that in on the outside corner. John, we all enjoy, of course, your regular feature, Pertzborn's People, and you meet some fascinating folks along the way. And again, I know this has been kind of a fun trip for you.
Oh, it sure has.
Glad you could be here with us in Houston tonight.
Thanks for having me. I stopped off on my way home from Albuquerque.
Not a problem.
No.
Time is called. Did you come up with any 1 or 2 basic reversals of thought through this whole thing? I mean, anything change any ideas that you might have had with the people out there or the places you visited?
Well, I tell you, I was shocked when I got to Pittsburgh with the lack of steel mills. I think that's everybody's image of the steel city. And when you get there and you see them all closed down and being bulldozed over to
where that beautiful downtown area is, there used to be 3 or 4 of them there when I was a kid growing up down in West Virginia.
Oh, yeah.
2 balls and 1 strike. Just missed outside. 3-1. Well, John, I hope everybody will stay with us this evening for the Eyewitness News update and your final segment on Albuquerque, and
that's going to be on Cover Story.
And we'll look forward, of course, to your regular reports about the people, our area, that make it such a very special place in which to work and live.
We've got them stacked up on my desk.
Into center field. McGee broke in for a moment, but is right there now and makes the play. So the Astros strand 2. John, thanks so much for sitting in and being with us. After 2 innings in the Dome, it's 1-0 Houston. Copyrighted telecast authorized under TV rights granted with the St. Louis National Baseball Club solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals and Major League Baseball is prohibited. The Dodgers are doing it to the Mets. Or are they? Let's see. Is that 4-3 or 9-3? I can't quite see whether through the 6th inning.
4-3.
Looks like 4-3. So it is the Mets leading 4-3. Here's Mike with the call.
Curt Ford leads it off, and he smokes a foul ball into the right field corner. He can turn on a fastball, this young man, Curt Ford.
Pittsburgh and Cincinnati are 1-1 in the 7th. San Francisco leading Philadelphia 2-0 in the 7th. Montreal at San Diego later. Over in the American League, in the 5th inning, it's Chicago and Boston 3-3. Cleveland and Milwaukee 1-1 in the 2nd. Detroit and Minnesota 2-2 in the 4th. Kansas City leads Texas 2-0 in the 2nd.
There you see the statistics on Curt Ford. He'll change up high, 1-1. Ford has hit safely in 7 of his last 8 games. And during those 8, he's hit at a .355 clip. And he's hit safely in 11 of his last 13. There's the change-up from Ryan. You see he uses that almost like a screwball. Lets it come out the back half of the outside fingers. 2 little fingers. Watch it tail away and go down. And when you combine that pitch with a 90-mile-an-hour plus fastball that rides, that spells double trouble. And he throws the fastball by him this time. 3rd strikeout for Nolan.
And interestingly enough, Mike, he has struck out the first man in each inning.
You saw that screwball or the tailing fastball. And now you see that big overhand motion with the fastball right by the Cardinal youngster. He has a perfect game going right now. He's no stranger to such activity. There goes the perfect game, the no-hitter, and everything out the window as Steve Lake turns the fastball around and he scoots into second base with a 1-out double. Now, the fella coming to bat, Tim Conroy, is a very good fastball hitter himself. Here's the fastball. He tries to get out in front and he throws it right down the middle. And as usual, when you throw it down the middle, they hit a line drive. Lake finds the gap and winds up at second base. By the way, Steve Lake now is only 1 hit away from his 100th career hit. He hasn't played very much in the big leagues. He's had an opportunity to play here with Pena being out with the injury.
And he has delivered, Mike.
He certainly has. Let's see if Conroy can catch up with one of those fastballs.
Comes up there hacking, doesn't he?
Cardinals sent Conroy down to the instructional league this year to work on his hitting. Hasn't worked so far. He's 0 for 1987. This may be the time. He also has good power. He can hit the ball out of this park. And it's hard to get one out of the Astrodome. One thing that's difficult for Timmy to do, though, is hit the off-speed delivery. That one will go just fine. Quickly, he's in the hole until he cut the fastball on him that time. It's another thing that Ryan is doing. He has saved all of this knowledge to use at this point in his career. He was capable of doing these things a few years ago, but he just worked on them and kept them to himself.
Kept a little something extra back there, and
Yes,
he could call on it, huh?
He's calling on it now.
Well, Steve Carlton's been doing that for a couple of years now. Still hanging in.
And of course, this man, Ryan, and Steve Carlton are number 1 and number 2 on the all-time strikeout list. There's the curveball, and he was struck out. The umpire missed that pitch. And if you have a replay, let's take a look at it, see if I'm right.
Looked pretty good, didn't it?
Let's take a look. That's old Jim Quick back at the plate today. What do you think? About as good as you can be. A little high, maybe. Now he evens up. There's a pitch that's outside and a ball. So he says, well, I missed the last one, so I'll give this one to Mr. Ryan. So it's pick and choose for Quick. You saw the strike that he called the ball. Now watch this ball that he calls a strike. See, that's outside. So we're even. You have to be aware of that if you're a hitter. You get away with a pitch, you better be hacking on the next one. So Jim Quick says, well, I'm even now. And I guess for all practical purposes, it's about right. It'll take a 2-out base hit from Vince Coleman. Couldn't catch up with the number 1. Boy, when Ryan keeps it down, the ball moves better, and believe it or not, it's quicker down there. When you put the gun on a fellow like Ryan and he throws a fastball high, he'll record like 94, 95. If he throws it low, it'll be 95, 96.
Ryan now 40 years of age.
Out of play. You have to turn it up a notch against this guy.
He's got a ways to go to catch up to Negro, hasn't he? In age, I mean, not in strikeouts.
I tell you, there are some great competitors still left in this game, Jay. Some people playing today at age 40 and plus, which you didn't see a few years ago. There's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, these athletes are much more educated in the physical end of the business, taking much better care of themselves. They now have the good schooling and the knowledge, and they've been educated. Better habits, both eating habits, drinking habits, and the whole works. There's a curveball that Jim Cook says is a strike. And 3 strikeouts in the inning for Nolan Ryan, 5 in the game. We go to the Houston half of the 3rd. Astros lead 1-0.
Well, let me tell you about Fielder's Glove Night. The Cardinals and the Astros playing at Busch Stadium the 29th, 7:35. And for the first 20,000 youngsters, 15 and under, with a paid admission, the Fielder's Glove goes your way. We've got the right and left-handed models. It is a marvelous, marvelous gift. A nice glove. And you really can't, well, we show you a picture of it, but you really can't believe it's just a great gift from the Cardinals. Well, we hope you'll be on hand. The Cardinals have teamed up with the Colonial Iron Kids and KMOX Radio to bring you Fielder's Glove Night Friday, May the 29th. Well, Doran got on in the first, as we mentioned, something that he hasn't been doing of late, getting on base, and he made it happen along with a double by Davis. That's the only run in the game. This man has scored it. And we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Here again's Old Irish.
Thank you, Jennings. Doran walked and scored, as Jay told you in the first. He'll be followed by Cruz and Davis. A little low with the fastball from Tim Conroy. Conroy, a record of 2-1. This guy's a very talented second baseman. That's a base hit. He was jammed, but he was strong enough to pop it into center field. And Doran has started to come alive. And
it's a real key for them.
Much like Vince Coleman. When he gets on base, Cardinals do well. You see he gets jammed here. He hits it about the trademark. But he pops it out there. And it brings in Jose Cruz. It's important again for Doran to be on because that gives Cruz the entire right side of the infield if he wants to hit it that way. And then, of course, you see that he's hit well against his old teammates. Runner is going. He has a tremendous jump. And still, Steve Lake throws him out.
Boy, what a job by Lake.
Tell you what, he must have taken 5 steps before Conroy released the ball. And watch him get rid of this ball. Boom, you see that? He was throwing before he caught it even. And Ozzie with the quick tag. You want to see why you can see the steps that he had. Look at that. How many? 6 before he threw the ball?
Big jump.
We'll run that replay of him throwing from the center field camera for you one more time, and I'll show you why he got it. Now, that pitch is high, and it's 2-0. You see that even before Lake caught the ball, he was getting into throwing position. He'd come up out of the catcher's position and taken a step towards second base. That'll play for Ozzie if he wants it. No, Vince Coleman calls him off. And we have 2 away.
I think we've got a chance to take a look at that view that you wanted from center field again, but boy, I can't say enough about the play Lake makes here.
Watch it now. See, the runner's going. He takes that step. Boom. And he's throwing the baseball and into position even before he catches it.
He had his motor running before the ball ever got to him, didn't he?
And that's what you have to do. You've got to be in throwing position before you catch the ball. If you wait to catch it and then throw it, that runner's going to take at least 1 and most likely 2 steps, and you'll never throw him out. Tough play for Pendleton. Backs up, gets the good hop, and what could have been a big inning for Houston is turned around thanks to Steve Lake as he throws out Bill Doran. A hit, nobody left. After 3, Houston leads 1-0.
Isn't it? It is nice. Where's the camera?
Right down there.
Oh, yeah, right there.
You'll love to wave at camera.
This game's over, man. There's no chance of getting a run off of him.
Oh, no. I think I disagree with you.
Well, we'll find out.
I disagree. If the Redbirds can keep it close in the going into 7th or 8th inning, we will win.
Remember, all right, we'll check it out. There's the score, 1-0, and here's Ozzie, and there's a ball, and that's ball 2. Nolan Ryan's allowed 1 hit in the first 3 innings, and he has struck out 5. And they're saying nasty things about Nolan Ryan.
Like what?
That he doctors the baseball.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, look at the Cardinals in the 4th inning, Jack.
Oh, really? What inning are we in now?
This ought to be the 4th.
This is it, folks.
31-5.
The computer says Ozzie grounded out his first time. 3-1. Atlanta beat the Cubs 9-5, so the Cardinals could take over first by themselves. Dale Murphy hit 2, Deion James hit 1, and Gerald Perry hit 1. Durham homered for the Cubs. Palmer the winner, Anchor the save, Sanderson the loser.
That home run by James was a 3-run shot.
That's right. Murphy hit 1 with 1 on and 1 with the bases empty. Ozzie steps out. After 6 at New York. Home runs by Wilson, Strawberry, and McReynolds, and the Mets lead the Dodgers 4-3. That's out of play. Valenzuela against Cone, and Guerrero a home run for 3 in the first for the Dodgers, but now they trail 4-3 after 6. Giants lead 2-0 in the 7th at Philly. Gereltz in relief of Hammaker against Carmen. Russell's home run puts Pittsburgh ahead at Cincinnati 2-1. He homered off of Royce. And Daniels homered for Cincinnati. Pirates leading 2-1 in the 8th. Ozzie trying to get out. Leading off. Fouls another. Montreal will play at San Diego later. White Sox 3, Red Sox 3 after 6 in Boston. Tigers tied 2-2 in the 5th at Minnesota. Cleveland 1-1 after 2 at Milwaukee. Kansas City leading 4-0 in the 2nd at Texas. Ozzie worked him for a walk. That's the first given by Nolan Ryan. And the computer says that this is our inning, right? Later, New York at California, Baltimore at Oakland, and Toronto at Seattle. First time the Cards have had the leadoff man on. And the batter is Pendleton, who has a 15-game hitting streak on the line. And if he can hit in each of these games against Ryan and then Nepper and then Scott, well, hit the ball well his first time, flied out to center. Can he pull Nolan Ryan? He'd like to. There goes Ozzie, and a swing and a fly ball into left field near the line. Cruz getting over there. He makes the catch. And Ozzie gets back. And the Cardinals doing a little running. Ozzie would have stolen the base. Pendleton sliced it into left. With the runner going, he swung at that pitch down and in. Cruz was playing in that direction. 1 on 1 out for Clark. He struck out his first time. There are Clark's figures.
Jack the Ripper.
One thing you'll see Clark do, you ever see him twist back and lean back? He said he does that to get a, you know how some batters will jump away from a pitch? He says he does that first so that he'll be going into the ball when the pitch is coming. Let's see if we can point it out to you. Ball 1. We've seen the Cardinals do some running against Nolan Ryan in the past.
Clark has driven in 24 runs in 19 games here in the streak. He's hit in 17 of the last 19.
See if we can see that little twitch that I was talking about. Right down the middle, 1-1. Clark having trouble with his footing.
He has a very closed stance, Jack, and he does kind of get himself going a little bit when the pitch is coming with that way he's turned, you see, and he'll kind of cock those wrists and then he'll turn right there. See him?
He goes back as far as he can so that he's going forward when the pitch comes in. 2-1.
He's kind of coiled. It's a similar effect to the type of action that Musial got, although Musial coiled even more in the beginning.
Smith has a big lead off of first. Not going, and it's low to Clark. 3-1. Houston leading 1-0. They had a walk and a double in the first inning. We'll watch Ozzie to see if he goes.
Cardinals won 5 and lost 7 against these Astros as they won the West in '86.
Cardinals split down here in the 6 games, but lost 4 out of 6 at home. We'll have Houston at home in our next homestand. Ozzie has the lead. He's going. Ball 4. So there are 2 men on for Willie McGee, both on walks, and McGee grounded to third his first time. He hasn't been in a very good hitting groove lately.
No, he hasn't. He's been hitting the ball down on the ground and not getting much of the meat end of the bat on it.
He's really lunging. So Ryan walks a couple. Ryan's been around for a long time. How old is he?
40 years old.
40. There are Willie's stats. Smith at second, Clark at first. Needs something good from Willie, and he fouls it toward the dugout. Think he was out in front?
I think he was.
You have to guess a little bit when you're up against Nolan Ryan. That looked like one of my tee shots, man, when you really
I heard
crank it over.
Someone told me that you were straight down the middle today.
Right after they took my money. 2 on and 1 out, 4th inning. Houston's out hit the Cardinals 3-1. Houston leads 1-0. Dickie Thon is cheating a little at short. That one missed outside. 1-1.
Mike was telling me to let my old buddy Peter Jacobson do some radio play-by-play in Atlanta.
He tried
today.
2 on, 1 out. And Willie fouls it. He's in the hole. Didn't get a very good swing.
Peter will be returning along with Pat Bradley in
September, he told me.
Yeah, Junior League Challenge Cup, September the 28th, to play Roger Maltby, who had such a great run at the Masters, and 2-time Women's Open champion Hollis Stacy.
ball, 2 strikes.
Come on, Willie.
Willie really peering out at Nolan Ryan. He'll make you concentrate. And another foul. That ball in on him, 1 and 2. Leadoff walk to Smith. Pendleton flied out, and Clark walked.
Hope you enjoyed, those of you in the St. Louis area, a special tonight, updating you on Cardinal baseball at this point in the season. And hope that you are aware that Tony Pena is available to pinch hit tonight and will catch tomorrow night.
Willie strikes out on a changeup. It's smack up to Tommy Herr as Nolan Ryan. That's his 6th strikeout. When he changes up on you as hard as he throws, watch the action of the ball. You think it didn't go down? That might be one of the pitches they're talking about where they think he scuffs the ball, as they accuse Mike Scott of doing the same thing. Can't do anything about it. So you don't hear Herzog groaning about it. He says there's no sense getting all the players upset about it because nothing can be done. Tommy Herr, his first time, flied to left. He's driven in 15 runs. Ryan steps off as Thon got in behind the runner. We're in the 4th, 1-0 Houston.
Houston club has lost 5 of their last 6 here. They won their first 6 games at home this year to start things off, but have struggled a bit recently.
They'll be in the middle of it at the end. You can bet on that with the pitching they have. Ball 1. They have Ryan and they have Deshays and Scott and Nepper and Smith in the bullpen.
They have a problem in the pitching area, Jack. It is probably with that middle relief area.
Everybody seems to, don't they?
Yeah, that is a thankless job on a very tough area, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Hard to find the right people for the job.
L.A. and New York now 4-4 in the 7th inning.
So the Dodgers caught him. There's a strike. He slipped it by her. Cardinals can take over. Sole possession of first. The result of the Cubs losing today.
Another problem that the Astros have when you compare them with some of the other teams is that they have a rather mediocre left side of the infield.
2 on, 2 out. Slider strike. You got McGee on a change. You got a strike on a fastball. He just got a strike on a slider, so he has a big curveball. He's tough to contend with.
A guy like this pitching, I guess you don't have to worry about a mediocre left side.
The fans want another strikeout, and he already has 6.
Averaged 9.8 strikeouts per game last season.
2 on, 2 out. And that's 7 strikeouts for Ryan. The Cardinals leave 2, and they've left 3. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning, still 1-0.
Anheuser-Busch will honor KSDK for 25 years of broadcasting Cardinal baseball on television. It's going to be some show on the 30th. Watch day on Sunday, May 31st. Hope you'll join us at the ballpark. These other dates coming up too: batting helmet, the wristband, and the cooler bag day.
Phil Garner chases a bad ball low from Tim Conroy. We're underway in the home half of the 4th. Garner fly to center. In the 1st, they call this fella scrap iron. Look at the arms on him. Not very big, but he's strong.
He's been around.
Tough competitor. 1-1. Used to be with the Pirates.
Signed originally by Oakland. I think it was, yeah, I think so, 71. Been around a long time.
Came down here in the Johnny Ray trade that sent Ray to the Pirates. Ball 2. Conroy, a record of 2-1. 0-1 last year against this team. You never know where Garner's going to hit the ball either. He chased a bad ball high and popped it up to Clark Fair. 1 out. The old high hard one. That's the one that used to get Charlie Epps, your good friend down here in Houston. He couldn't hit that high fastball. When you can't do that, then you're going to start playing golf.
Well, and believe me, he can do that. And Charlie's one of the outstanding club pros in America. Still plays 1 or 2 tour events a year. Half of one, anyway.
Here's Kevin Bass, switch hitter, fouled out into right field his first time. He has a little pop in his bat. Where'd that pitch go?
Right over everything.
Yes, sir. That'll keep you loose up there. Ball 1. We have Dennis Menke coaching at third and Matt Gallant at first. And Yogi Berra's on the bench with Hal Lanier.
Yes, sir.
Ball 2.
He was the
last year. We came in off a road trip and Houston came to town. And I saw Yogi the next day and I said, "You guys got in pretty late." He said, "Yeah, about 2 o'clock. What time did you get in?" I said, "We got here about midnight." That ball is going to be caught. No? Yeah.
Yes. You were right the first time. It's close.
I didn't think he'd have to jump, but he did, and he caught it. So there are 2 out. He slammed into the fence as he did catch it. Couldn't have gone much further, could he? A lot of times the ball would come out of the glove when it hits the fence like that. He spoiled my story by hitting the ball. So Yogi said, "What time do you fellas get in?" I said, "About midnight." He said, "Was that local time?"
Oh, boy. Yogi. Remember, Yogi was the man that said, "You have to be born to be a good hitter."
Alan Ashby grounded to first his first time. Conroy's retired the first 2 in the 4th, and a good fastball. You folks can tell with some of the pitches that you see from Conroy why Cardinals just keep waiting and waiting for him. He has a good arm with a very good fastball. Breaking pitch sinks low, 1-1. In the 7th at New York, and the Dodgers are tied 4-4. They still have Fernando pitching. Atlanta beat the Cubs 9-5. Trying to go to right field that time.
Pittsburgh now leading Cincinnati 4-1. They're in the
9th inning.
Maybe over. Let's see.
Now they're in the bottom of the 9th. And the Giants lead 2-1 in the home half of the 8th at Philly. Adley Hammaker making a comeback for San Francisco. He'll really help them. He pitched the first 7 innings. Good tailing fastball, and Ashby wouldn't go for it. 2-2. Montreal at San Diego later. He waved at it. Did he go around?
The appeal. No.
They asked the first. He's down at third base. They asked the first base umpire. He said no. But I know why Lake was concerned about that half swing. It looked like he might have gone around. Now Conroy doesn't want to walk him there. Mickey Thon on deck. He's trying to get the Astros in order for the first time, and a fly ball to center field will do it. After Willie gets through running, the inning's over. So we've played 4. Cardinals staying close to Nolan Ryan. It's still 1-0.
Jack, your picnics will be more fun this summer if you're carrying the cooler bag.
When do I go on a picnic?
You sneak off on a picnic once in a while, certainly. The Cardinals in the Post-Dispatch are giving this marvelous gift away. The first 35,000 fans, 16 and over, with a paid admission on Cooler Bag Day, June the 21st. That's a Sunday. Isn't that a nice item?
It is.
It really is. They're good-looking insulated canvas bags. They won't leak, and they will hold up to 6 beverage cans.
Of what?
Your choice.
Ball 1 to Kurt Ford. Bottom 3 in the order. 5th inning. Cardinals have only 1 hit. A double by Lake. They've had 2 walks. They've left 3. Ryan, it's 2-3 this year. You wonder how he ever loses when you watch him pitch.
That's the truth. Later in the game, we'll have the Edward D. Jones scoreboard updating other scores. Edward D. Jones and Company. Visit the office near you for free personal financial information.
Kurt shows a bunt and takes a strike. Now the Mets are batting in the bottom of the 7th, tied with the Dodgers 4-4. Ford was a strikeout victim his first time. Cardinals started the night 5.5 ahead of New York. 6 ahead on the loss side. There's a base hit. The kid can hit the fastball. I tell you, he weighs 150 pounds and he turns on all of them.
Well, you can't beat quick hands.
That's right.
He's got them.
Quick hands and bat speed, and he adds to his .348 average. There's the fastball tailing away, but he pulled it and gets the second Cardinal hit. And it's the second inning in a row the leadoff man has been on. Here's Lake. Ford has stolen 3 bases, and they like to hit and run a bit with Steve Lake. Doubled to left center his first time. That's what happens when you get behind 2-0 on the count after throw that fastball. Same for all pitchers in all of baseball. Ball 1. Lake, of course, is a candidate for a double play. He cannot run.
Well,
at all.
Don't. That's cruel now. Come on.
1 ball, no strikes.
He told me recently, he said, look, I really run a little better than they say. His teammates are always on him about his speed factor.
Good lead by Ford. That ball will be played to first base only. So he moved the runner along. Good play by Garner.
Really was a good play.
You see how Lake ran down there?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Your standards are pretty low.
My standards are a little low. But he's legging it out. He really worked hard. Garner doesn't get that ball there.
Right. If it hits one more time, it's...
Look at him work to get down there.
Uh-huh. As they talk about a runner who is a poor runner who liked to steal bases, they said he had larceny in his heart, but his feet were honest. Now the runner at second. It wouldn't be beyond Conroy, although he struck out his first time, to get his first hit of the year and tie this game. He can hit for a pitcher. Strike 1.
We keep saying that.
I know. Well,
I hope he will.
Some night you'll be right.
That's right.
Or I'll be right.
You'll be right.
This Conroy can really hit. He is 0 for 8. Strike 2. And a good catch in the mezzanine section. Conroy doesn't do it. It'll be up to Coleman, who has struck out twice. Nolan Ryan from Alvin, Texas. Ford at second, 1 out. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Light hitting game, 3 for the Astros, 2 for the Cardinals. Well, they've got some good pitchers primed for this weekend. Nepper and then Scott. That is the 8th strikeout. Got him with a nasty breaking ball. Now I used to watch Bob Feller pitch a lot when I was a kid, Jay. Watch this breaking ball. This is the way Feller was, too. Everybody talked about his fastball, but look at that thing.
Well, and when you have that pitch
that's
to go along with that 90-mile-an-hour plus fastball, it's even more effective than...
That's what they used to call a hook when you were a kid, a big downer.
It's over at Cincinnati, and the Pirates have won it 4-1.
Rush will beat Royce, and Rush will hit a home run. And Cal Daniels homered for Cincinnati's only run. Ball 1 to Coleman, who's fanned twice. Giants carry a 2-1 lead in the bottom of the 9th at Philadelphia. Coleman has driven in 11 runs. He's been struck out twice by Nolan Ryan. Now it's 1-1. Ozzie Smith is on deck, and Ozzie is swinging a lead bat with a weight in it. And you can hear the ping when he takes that practice swing. You hear that noise? I think the folks at home can hear it, can't they?
Yeah.
What it does to the batter is tells him that his swing is at its best out in front, which is where they want to hit the baseball. Good play by Ashby. 2-1. It's getting to be a familiar sound around the ballpark with it. Coleman does that. Pendleton does it. Ozzie does it. And you can hear that ping, ping, ping.
Clark doesn't fool with that thing.
I tell you, swing the bat and it's not automatic to make that sound because you're usually swinging too soon. That is breaking your wrists too soon. 2 balls and a strike to Coleman. Come on, Vince. Attaboy. Whoop, right at the shortstop. Well, he made good contact. That's all you can do. Line it right at Thon. 1 hit, 1 left. Cards have left 4. Bottom of the 5th inning. Dickie Thon will lead it off, the number 8 hitter, and the Astros lead 1-0.
Here in the Astrodome, we are surrounded by golfing people. Ted Harris, the former director of information for the LPGA, who is now involved in so many.
And the Chicago Bears.
And the Chicago Bears before that. A great gentleman. And Dick Harmon. Dick, who is the pro at River Oaks here. Of course, his dad, Claude Harmon, one of the legends of the game. Well, it's like old home week here.
Tell him about the Mets.
The Mets got a run in the 7th and lead 5-4 over Los Angeles. They're still batting in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Dickie Thon got a base hit, stole a base in the 2nd. Conroy throws a strike. He's hanging tough. 1-0 Houston. They got a run in the 1st on a 1-out walk to Doran. 1 of 2 walks given up by Conroy and a 2-out double by Davis. The run would not have scored, but Doran was going on the play. He'll be batting 4th if Houston gets somebody out. You notice Conroy gripping the ball. Most all pitchers throw the ball across the seams of the ball. 2 balls and a strike.
Cardinals have allowed 30 home runs, 36 games. That ranks 2nd in Major League Baseball.
Giving up a lot, have we?
Given up fewest.
Fewest,
yes. 30.
That's a base hit.
30 in 36 games, Jack. And that is the 2nd best in the league.
That gives Nolan Ryan a chance to bunt Dickie Thon over. And remember that he stole a base earlier. Watch the feet of Tim Conroy and the way he sets up with a man on base. He does not have a good pickoff move. He seldom throws over there. It looks like he's going to throw over there when he kicks up the right foot. But after a while, these runners become accustomed to that. And unless he throws over there occasionally, they're going to do a lot of running on him. And a foul, strike 1.
We talked about Vaughn and how poorly he's been going. He was activated on the 8th following a 20-day rehab assignment for that blurred vision problem that has bothered him ever since that terrible shot that he took, 84. Been a tough time for Vaughn, it really has.
He might start the runner here. Conroy checks him, short lead. High and no play. See Conroy's right foot way behind his left foot. And when he kicks the right foot, it looks like he could go to first base, but they know he can't go to first base, so that's why he's unable to keep those runners close. That was low. Pretty good pitch, but ball 2, 2-1. He walked Ryan back in the 2nd. Two balls and a strike. So the number 8 hitter is on base for the 2nd time tonight. And a pretty good bunt. Conroy throws to her. The sacrifice is good. Now Hatcher and Doran will have to be dealt with here in the 5th inning. And you don't want Nolan Ryan to get that extra run. He's already ahead 1-0. Pittsburgh beats Cincinnati 4-1. Atlanta beat the Cubs 9-5. Giants lead 2-1 in the bottom of the 9th at Philly. Mets are batting in the bottom of the 7th. They lead the Dodgers 5-4. The Dodgers aren't having much fun, are they? They've lost 6 in a row.
Struggling.
And losing tonight with Valenzuela. Well, it's 2nd 1 out and ball 1 to Hatcher. He's lined out to right and flied out to center.
He moved into the leadoff spot when Doran was injured last season. He promptly scored 21 runs in the next 31 games that he was involved in.
Because he can steal bases. He's stolen 14 this year. That's ball 2. I said earlier that Hatcher on 2-0 would be sitting on something, but I guess all Hatchers do sit on something, don't they?
Let me mark that one down.
2-0 the count. And a foul. He threw him something other than the fastball on 2-0. That's what happens when you get all of your pitches over. 2 balls and a strike. Hatcher's driven in 18 runs. Cardinals are going to pitch Lee Tunnell tomorrow night against Bob Knepper, a couple of left-handers.
Sunday it'll be Joe McGrain against Mike Scott. We'll televise again tomorrow and on Sunday afternoon for you.
There's one to this. Oh, the pitcher better get over there. He does. Tommy Hurd to Tim Conroy. Nice play by both. Nice play by both. 2 out.
And we'll pause for station identification on the Cardinals Television Network.
KSDK, Channel 5 in St. Louis.
Bill Doran has walked and scored, singled, and was out stealing. He's driven in 18 runs. Runner at third, 2 out.
He's now hit in 12 of the last 16 games.
He's only batting .215 at the start of the night, .220 now. He's a better hitter than that. Switch hitter. Biggie Thon, the runner at third. Conroy will work off the stretch and won't have to worry about him. He just missed with a curveball. Conroy hanging tough tonight. Matched against a legend. There's a strike, and it's 1-1. Dennis Menke coaching at third. He's talking it over with Dickie Thon down there. There they are. Thon's trying to come down the line a bit and bother Conroy. Missed inside. 2-1. And a base open, and a left-handed batter, Cruz, coming up next, so they don't have to give in to this batter. Bill Doran from Cincinnati. Foul ball, 2-2. You've interviewed him, Jay. Nice kid, isn't he?
A really nice young man. Played at Miami of Ohio, as I mentioned earlier on, and he's a .240 lifetime hitter against the Cardinals. Hit 14 home runs in '85. He's got some power.
Look at the arms on him. He's a little fella, but
very well put together.
He's strong. Pendleton deep behind the base at third. Close to the line. Ball low. 3-2. The runner at third and 2 out. The left-handed batter coming up next. I suspect it will be something other than a fastball. Let's see if I'm right. There's Thon at third, 2 out. And a breaking ball goes low and walked him. Third time that batter's been on base. Third walk given by Conroy, and the game might be on the line right here with Cruz up.
It might indeed, as Cruz is a .313 lifetime hitter against his former mates. He's hit over 306 times since coming to the Astros from Arroyo, Puerto Rico. One of the Cruz brothers. Hector and Tommy were the other.
He's fly to right, he's fly to left. He'll go the other way, particularly against the left-hander. He's hit 4 home runs, driven in 15. Doran's a threat to run. Ball 1 and a good play by Lake.
Cardinals sold Cruz to Houston 1974. He never quite came through for the Redbirds in the fashion they hoped he would, but he blossomed into a tremendous player here.
First and third, 2 out. Astros have left 3, lost a man stealing, the runner going, and a foul ball back here.
Mets are still batting in the 7th, Jack, and they now lead at 6-4 over Los Angeles.
They won't catch the Pirates. The Pirates won their game. Phillies lost 2-1 to San Francisco. Hammaker and Gereltz did the pitching. First and third, 2 out. Here's the guy he has to get. Davis is on deck, and it's low. 2-1. Rose has a good eye. Doesn't strike out very often. He's right down at the end of the bat. He's tough when you're behind on the count. You come to him. The runner goes again, and a swing and a foul. Just got a piece of that on the ball inside. 2-2. You can get Cruz out in there. Of course, you can get most everybody out when you jam them really well. Now they're 2 on, 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Down at third. There's Doran at first. 1-0 Houston, bottom of the 5th, and the game hanging in the balance here if you want some early drama. How's he going to try to get him out? Fly ball into right. That's it. Kept the ball in on him a little bit. Got him out. 1 hit and a walk, 2 left, 5 left for Houston. They've lost a man stealing. After 5, we're still close, 1-0. The beach ball. Ooh. He can't get the plug out of it. So the ball boy in the left field corner will take care of it. And the Cardinals send up Smith, Pendleton, and Clark. There was a big out when Conroy got cruised in the 5th inning. Keeps it 1-0. Ozzie is grounded out and walked. He'd like to take that beach ball home to Little Oz. That's why he's watching to see what happens to it. Nolan Ryan has walked 2. A lot of double by Lake and a single by Ford. That's a big beach ball, man. Won't fit into the dugout. Tony Pena having some fun with it. Pena's right at the end of the dugout there, number 26. He'll be catching here tomorrow night. They were going to start him, but with Nolan Ryan pitching, they thought they'd lay off a day. Ball 1. We're underway in the 6th. Dodgers are batting in the 8th, trailing 6-4 of New York. Now they have the beach ball back in the stands. More concerned with the ball than the game. Ozzie gets a hit. That's the 3rd of the night for the Cardinals, and it marks the 3rd inning in a row. The leadoff man has been on base, and it brings up Pendleton, whose 15-game hitting streak rides in the balance here. Pendleton fly to center, fly to left. Ozzie has stolen 10 bases, so they'll keep a wary eye on him.
I certainly hope so.
New baseball out to Ryan.
Pendleton has had his troubles with the Astros, a 180 lifetime average.
It's not much.
Not much.
But he is hitting .338. He was at the start of the night. Leadoff man is on in a big lead by Ozzie. He's inviting Ryan to throw over there. And ball 1. Ashby came up ready to throw.
At .338 average, Jack, at Pendleton in the number 8 spot in the league coming into tonight, has 16 RBIs in his last 13 games.
Leonard leads the league.
Later in this game, we'll select the Meineke Discount Muffler MVP, the award a donation of $50 to the Variety Club.
Ozzie, big lead again. Not going. There's a strike. Ozzie is inviting Ryan to throw over there, but Ryan is ignoring him. Wouldn't be surprising to see Smith go. There's hitting room through the right side if Pendleton can pull the ball. Cards have been out hit 4-3, trail 1-0, sixth inning. And now he does throw. So he played possum on the first couple of pitches, but this time he made Ozzie go darting back.
Ryan finally RSVP'd to that invitation.
All right. Now Ozzie cuts it down a little. Lengthens it out a little more. But it's shorter than it was. And another throw. Ozzie had to fly back in. Ryan working in the sixth inning, a record of 2 wins, 3 losses.
Strikeouts now are up to 2,348.
Still counting. Leadoff hit by Ozzie. High and away. A lot of times you see a pitch out that really isn't thrown way wide of the plate. That might have been one of those. That might have been where Ashby wanted it. Ryan, before tonight, has pitched 51 innings and allowed 33 hits. That's not many. 5 home runs. That's inside, 3-1. One thing Ozzie is doing, he's occupying Nolan Ryan a little bit.
They're going to get busy down in the pen. I saw Hal Lanier stirring there, and he's going to get somebody to warm up down there.
Bigger lead now by Ozzie on a 3-1 count. He is going, and ball 4 puts the first 2 on for Jack Clark. It's the 3rd walk by Nolan Ryan. Clark has struck out and walked and comes up now in a big spot, 6th inning. Bottom of the 8th at New York. The Mets 6, the Dodgers 4. Later, Montreal will play at San Diego. The Giants beat Philadelphia 2-1. Pittsburgh won at Cincinnati 4-1, and Atlanta won at Chicago 9-5. No finals yet in the American League. Boston batting in the bottom of the 9th inning, trailing the White Sox 4-3. Milwaukee leads Cleveland 2-1 in the bottom of the 6th. Minnesota trailing at home. Bottom of the 7th, 3-2 against Detroit, and Kansas City leads 4-0 after 5 at Texas. Come on, Jack. Half swing, and he went around. Strike 1.
The hurler down the right side for the Astros, loosening up. Jack Clark tied for 3rd in the National League with RBIs at 35.
Looks like Senor Lopez.
That's right, Aurelio Lopez.
Let's put on a little weight, Ed.
He looks good right there.
There go the runners trying to steal and a foul. Cardinals did that in Atlanta. That's a strike 2 count on Clark now. Cardinals did that in Atlanta. They started the runners and moved the infielders, and Clark went the other way and got a base hit and an RBI. Tried it again here. And Doran is in talking to Nolan Ryan. Ozzie had a very good jump off of second base. And Pendleton was going with him. Single and a walk gives the Cardinals a chance. Nobody out. This Ryan is murder when he gets 2 strikes on him. He already has 8 strikeouts. He throws a fastball, a curve, a slider, a change. Clark has to guard. Lopez warming up. He's out.
Oh, what a fine pitch. Caught the outside corner.
He chewed him up. He got ahead of him with a breaking ball low and away on the half swing. And the foul ball. Now watch this one. Right over the black, as they say, the outside edge, and it's up to Willie McGee. Mickey Thon talking it over with Ozzie Smith. A couple of shortstops are talking over. It looks like Ozzie's giving him a batting lesson down there. Garner, not Garner, but Doran at second was keeping Ozzie close. Let's see if the Cardinals do any running. With McGee up there, the infielders have to play straight away. McGee has grounded to third and struck out. Come on, Willie. And a foul. Strike one. That's the thing about Ryan being a strikeout pitcher. He gets in a jam, whereas some other pitchers have to rely on finesse and hope for the double play or something short. Ryan can come along and blow you away.
He always seems to be able to turn it up a notch.
The ability to strike somebody out is important in this game. Strike one to McGee. Ozzy's trying to get the attention again of Ryan. Shortstop in behind him, and Ryan steps off. Meanwhile, the Cardinals need something from Willie. Blowing away. Turn that ball over a little bit. So he's more than a fastball pitcher. And apparently they don't like the way he's throwing right now. They have Lopez in the bullpen.
164 games with 10 strikeouts or more.
And he has 9 tonight. That's high and away. 2-1. And Ozzy really is catching the attention of Nolan Ryan. He keeps getting a bigger and bigger lead off of second. And when Ryan looks into the plate, Ozzy hops a little bit further away from the base. Second baseman and shortstop are endeavoring to keep him close, and there's Pendleton at first. One out. That's down and in. 3-1. Now they might start the runners. Three and one the count. McGee the batter, her next. If Ozzy goes, Pendleton will also go. I'm guessing they're not going. They're not. And a foul. And 3-2. That ball really whistled into the seats. I'm glad I wasn't sitting there. 3-2 the count. Now Ryan on a 3-2 count will throw something other than the fastball. It's my guess now that they will be going. Let's see. Fans here clamoring for another strikeout. First two men were on, but Clark fanned. Smith and Pendleton lead away. They're not going. Foul tip. Just got a little nick of that one. That was a tough pitch too, man. Tough pitch, low and away, and Willie snapped at it and got a piece of it. Willie is driven in. 26 runs. Well, the game might be on the line right here as it was in the last half inning. You don't get an awful lot of chances against Ryan. The runners are not going, and another foul. That ball right in on him. It stays 3-2. So Willie's hanging tough. In the league, Ryan's teammate Scott leads in strikeouts. He'll be working here Sunday.
Scott has 78. Ryan now with his 9 tonight is up to 72.
They keep you on your toes. 2 on, 1 out. That ball sunk a little bit. That's one of the things they're talking about. Ryan talking about him cutting the ball and the way the ball sinks. Watch it. Did it go down? I'll say. How are you going to hit that one? That's 10 strikeouts.
They're standing.
It's the
164th,
65th
time now, and that means that he has struck out 10 or more batters in 165 games in his career.
And the batter is Tommy Herr. He is flied out, struck out, 2 on, 2 out. The first 2 were on. Clark and McGee went down. Need the 2-out hit from Herr. Downstairs. Tommy's driven in 15 runs. And Lopez throws more leisurely in the bullpen. Still need the hit. That's up high. The on-deck hitter is Ford. So it wouldn't have done any good had the runners gone, and might have resulted in a double play. Now Herr can look for something. Ryan has no complete games.
That's right.
This is his 10th start. What's Tommy thinking? Outside corner, and the umpire gave it to him. There's a borderline pitch. 2-1. That's the thing about Ryan. He doesn't groove the ball that much. There's walk 3, fan 10. 2-1 to Herr. There's another sinker. That pitch really dropped out. 2 on, 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Look at that one. The ball drops about 2 or 3 inches. It puts Herr under the gun. He's in a spot to strike out the side, as he did back in the 3rd. And that's what the crowd wants. Ozzy's running, and a foul. The runners were going as Ryan ignored them back there. He's concentrating on the hitter. It's really tough against a fellow like Ryan because of his variety of pitches. Plus, that fastball, it still gets up 93, 94, 95 miles an hour sometimes. How in the world do you hit a guy like this? 2 on, 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1-0 Houston, top of the 6th. Runners are going again, and a ground ball, base hit into right, and the score is tied, and Pendleton goes on to 3rd. So the Cardinals have tied it on a hit by Herr, who pulled it through the hole. As he scored, Pendleton went to 3rd, and Ford could put the Redbirds on top.
For Tommy, his 16th run batted in of the year.
He did a good piece of work. That ball stayed up. And he happened to find the hole. The right fielder, Bass, really charged the ball. I was surprised he charged it as aggressively as he did. He could have missed it, and Pendleton was going to go to 3rd no matter what he did. And now Ford, who has a hit, is up with men at 1st and 3rd and 2 out. Now the hits are even and the totals are even.
An identical scoreboard here, 1-4-0 for each side. Last win versus the Cardinals, May 18th, 85 here at Houston.
Now Aurelio Lopez watching from the bullpen, and Ryan almost threw that one away. Ford struck out in the 3rd on a breaking pitch, then got a fastball in the 5th and got a hit. And there's hitting room as they hold against Herr at first base. Ford has driven in 11 runs. Breaking ball struck. Oh, he looks
didn't like that call.
His head bobbed up and down. There's Jim Quick called a strike. There's Pendleton. And Herr. If Ford gets behind on the count, the Cardinals might do some running. They play Ford to hit to the opposite field and give him right center. Bad ball. 1-2.
Went for a pitch outside and low.
Way out of the strike zone. He really came off of it. He's talking to himself. Hit himself in the head.
Yeah, he was thinking of something else, obviously. Sometimes you make up your mind you're going to swing.
Now watch, we might see her go off at first, trying to draw a throw. And the Cardinals trying to work the double steal. Her is running, and a foul. Well, the Cardinals were indeed thinking about stealing one. Third, her back to first. Her just drove in the tying run. We're 1-1 in the 6th inning. Houston in their 6th will have their number 4 hitter lead it off.
Final at New York. The Mets beat Los Angeles 6-4.
You're full of good news, aren't you? They were way behind in the game, 3-0. New York is now 19-20. A little ground ball to deep short. This will be close at first base. He is out, and the inning's over. And now they argue about it with Charlie Williams. I couldn't tell from up here, but I knew it was going to be very close, and the Astros got the call. We'll watch it again before we do the commercial. That would have put the Cardinals ahead. Watch it. Hard to tell, isn't it? So we go into the bottom of the 6th inning. We're tied 1-1.
As Ford legs it to first base, it looked like he was out on that one. We'll give you another angle.
And I kind of think the umpire got it right, Jay.
Vaughn made a good play, and as you said, Jack, you knew it was going to be close. First base coach Hacker charged Charlie Williams the first base.
He doesn't do that very often.
No, he doesn't.
And now we go into the bottom of the 6th. Then this is Glenn Davis. He's their big home run hitter. He's doubled home their only run and grounded out to third. Conroy was on the bench for quite a period of time. Let's see how that affects him, if it does. Davis is a slugger. He cuts that bat loose. There's a strike, and it's 1-1 from Conroy. I told you about that Dodger loss to the Mets 6-4, and the Dodgers have lost 7 in a row, and they're 6 games out.
This fella had 101 RBIs last season.
Swung right through it. Houston has to win to stay 3.5 out, and the Cardinals need a win to be in first place by themselves. 1-2. And a foul, trying to go to right. So he's not a stubborn hitter, is he?
Let's remind you about the pitching pairings tomorrow evening. They'll be on the air at 7:30. Lee Tunnell against Bob Knepper. Sunday afternoon, Joe McGrain gets the call against Mike Scott. Look forward to that one.
Davis, Garner, and Bass in this inning. Stuck him out on a bad ball high, and Conroy picks up his first strikeout. See if I was correct with this ball being up around the letters. Even higher than that. The all-high hard one, and the batter is Scrap Iron. Phil Garner. Slide to center, pop to first. He's the kind of guy you forget about in this batting order, and just when you think everything's going good, he'll come along and do something nasty to you. Nothing doing in the Cardinal bullpen, so even though Conroy is due to bat in the 7th, they're going down the line with him. As a fly ball to be handled by McGee. Now they're both there. Somebody catch it. Whoa!
Almost dropped that ball.
The center fielder should catch everything, and Ford hampered him over there. One thing about it, there's one reason why this happens in this park. Watch McGee. He gets it in that big glove, and then it rolled down his hip, and he caught it. You see what happens here is that Ford cannot take his eye off of the ball here in the Astrodome. Neither can Willie. If you do that, and there's a strike to Bass, if you take your eye off of the ball, you're not going to find it again. And so you see outfielders frequently come in close contact out here.
So easy to lose it in the sky here, the way this
fastball strike to Bass. He's 0 for 2. You can follow the bat off of the ball and follow it all the way rather easily. But if you take your eye off of it, you're in trouble. 2 quick outs in the 6th. Only once has he set them down in order without putting a man on base. Conroy has a 1-2 count on this hitter, Bass. He fouled out to right, and he lined out to left, and he pinned Coleman against the left field wall. Dangerous hitter. Foul ball on a fastball. Conroy a 2-1 record, trying to beat Houston for the first time, and Nolan Ryan in the process. I'm sure you folks viewing will agree these pitched a heck of a game. 2-2. Hope I don't put the whammy on him.
It's an extremely important time for Conroy in his career.
2-2 the count. Challenged him with a fastball and got him to hit it to Pendleton. And the inning is over, and Conroy's retired 4 in a row and sets them down in order for only the 2nd time tonight. We played 6 innings. Good game. We're tied 1-1.
Looks like we're going to have a dandy before the night is over. We have one already.
Yeah, we sure do, Jay. A great pitching duo. Nolan Ryan, one of the all-time great pitchers of the game of baseball. And he's being battled tooth for nail by Tim Conroy.
Speaking of a dandy, there's going to be a spectacular fireworks display over Busch Stadium as KSDK is honored, celebrating his 25th year of carrying Cardinal baseball telecast. That's May the 30th.
Here's a little hopper off the end of the bat.
Good job by the first baseman, Davis.
He's made 2 good plays in a row, hasn't he? Leg grounds out. Steve 1 for 3 tonight. He doubled with 1 out in the 3rd. He's grounded out twice, and let's take another look at it. Off the end of the bat.
Thon and Garner are, as we've said before, not the strongest of infield performers on the left side here, but nice job by Davis.
And it brings in Tim Conroy. He's due for his first hit of the year. Might as well make it a home run, Timmy. A high rider from Ryan. He can still get it up there at 95. Not consistently, but when he wants to reach back and let her loose, he can get it there. Off the end of the bat, 1-1.
That fireworks display on May 30th will conclude the evening's activities at Busch Stadium.
Well, maybe for you, but
well, I mean, it's going to be.
Some of the folks may want to sit back and have another cold, frosty Budweiser and let the crowd clear out.
Anheuser-Busch saluting KSDK, and at some display they've got planned. It's going to be a very, very special happening.
Are you going to be up on the roof there supervising the fireworks display
No,
that night?
sir. I'm going to be in the stadium
enjoying it. Curveball enjoyed by a great right-hander Ryan, but not so much by Tim Conroy. He strikes out for the 3rd time tonight, and for Nolan Ryan, that's his 11th of the evening. This is what you call a good overhand hook, folks. Starts it out at eyeball level, winds up around the knees. As Timmy Conroy says, I remember when I used to throw it like that in high school. High school, my man. Mr. Ryan. Jay, when you try to assess his career, Ryan's, he was a .500 pitcher for until about 3 years ago. And then he put all of the experience through the years together, and I think he's a better pitcher right now than he's ever been in his career.
That's great tribute to him. He's now 40 years old, and
well, what he has now, he has so many more different pitches. He'll cut the fastball, he'll turn it over, throw the screwball, straight change. He takes a little off the curveball. He can throw that up there at a number of different speeds, like that one to Vince Coleman in at the knees. He's not afraid to throw the breaking ball when he's behind. He still can ride the fastball. This guy is a complete pitcher now, and he gives a hitter much more to think about. We're killing him tonight, though, aren't we? We're smoking him, man, with 4 hits and a run. Just hold on long enough.
He has not, as Jack mentioned, and you and I were talking earlier tonight, he's not been able to finish a game this year.
Well, it won't make me mad to see him not finish this one.
They have Lopez up and throwing again.
Senor Lopez.
Aurelio the Great.
Outside again. Boy, Vince Coleman is such a better hitter this season because of his ability to discipline himself at the plate and take more pitches. You know, Ryan hasn't fared very well against the Cardinals. In his last 11 decisions, his record is 3-8. Won't make me mad to be 3-9 after a dozen. He'll give you some innings, this guy. There's the fastball.
Giants beat the Phillies 2-1. Hammaker, the winner. Well, he's coming back.
Well, it's nice to see him. He's a fine young man, and he had a terrible arm injury, and he's made a long, long recovery back, and he's pitched very well this season.
Perelt's got the save in that one. Carmen took the loss.
Out of play again. Vince Coleman tonight has struck out twice, and he's been robbed. Man, he hit a bullet, a line drive right at Dickie Thon in the 5th inning. The Cardinals had the tying run at second base. Coleman has hit safely in 5 of his last 6. In his last 14 games, he's batted .344. His average is up to .291 at the start of the evening. No home runs yet this year, but he may, for the first time in his career, hit one out of the ballpark. He has an inside the park home run, but he's never hit one out of the ballpark. With that old Mexican jumping bean they have in the center of the baseball this year, he might do it. 2-2 the count, nobody on, 2 down, 7th inning, 1-1 game. Fastball that loosens him up a bit, full count. I wouldn't mind at all to see a walk to Vince with 2 outs and let him steal second. Wild throw into center. Vince get up and go to third, and then the center fielder Hatcher throw it into the seats.
Sounds like an exciting play, Mike.
All he has to do is walk him. If he walks him here, that'll happen. There's the first part of that scenario. Thank you very much. The walk is the 4th of the night, issued by Ryan, and here comes Hal Lanier, last year's manager of the year.
Lanier will be 45 years old on July the 4th.
He's going to take him out right here, I think. And the reason he's going to take him out is because he's thrown more pitches than he should throw. Nope, he's going to leave him in there. You know, they have a quota for Ryan.
Yep.
But he throws only so many. And whatever.
Well, Lanier just wanted to speak with him very quickly, the former Cardinal third base coach. And
evidently he said, look, forget about Vince Coleman. Just forget about him. Work on Ozzie Smith. Throw strikes to Smith. If you get him, you throw 3 strikes to him. Vince Coleman can only steal second and third. Let's see what happens. There goes Vince. Ah, and poor Allen wouldn't throw it. Well, maybe he'll have to steal third and he can throw it away there. Boy, that had the makings of it. If he'd have thrown that one, it would have.
Well, it was a tough pitch to handle. You're going to say it's a low pitch, and Ashby couldn't get himself untangled, and then he's upset with himself.
So the stolen base for Coleman is his 27th of the season. That's tops in the big leagues. Ozzie Smith has walked, he's singled, he's 1 for 2 tonight, and he's scored a run. Can he drive one home? He had the pitch to hit there. He was too quick on it. 1-1. We also have the right-hander Dave Smith throwing in the bullpen. Lopez and Smith. No action on the Cardinal side. It's Coleman at second. 7th inning, 1-1 game, 2 outs, 1-1 pitch. A little long. Ozzie has improved so much as a hitter. He comes in tonight batting .264. He got off to a terrible start this year, but he's made it a long way back. And the Cardinal shortstop is now hitting 7 in a row. And it's 3-1. Let's see what Ryan does. He has the base open. Pendleton next. 3-1 the count. Ozzie has the luxury now of looking for a particular pitch in a certain spot. He walked it. A walk. Second here in the inning. The 5th in the game. And he shows signs of becoming a little weary. And it looks like Hal Lanier is going to leave him in there. He has both Smith and Lopez ready. But the Astro manager is going to stay with his future Hall of Famer. Now, as I watch Lanier, he checks the bullpen again, and he gets the sign from the bullpen coach. They're both ready. Pendleton hasn't had a hit tonight. Oh, is that the first? There it is. Throw it away. He's safe at first. The bases are loaded. And Terry Pendleton now has a 16-game hitting streak.
Indecision on the part of the shortstop, Thon.
I'll tell you one thing. Davis has saved this game a couple of times tonight with good plays at first base. Deep into the hole. A good play by Thon. Wants to go to second. Not in time there. And watch this throw. Blocked by Davis. He knew he couldn't get him by staying on the base, so he came off and he smothered that ball, and that saves the run, and it brings in Clark. Well, we've had 2 grand slams this year. And this should be a fitting time for number 3.
The table is set for the Ripper. Has a 7-game hitting streak on the line tonight.
19 ribbies, as you see there with our graphic, in the last 2 dozen games. 2 outs. Oh, slider is perfect. There's a pitch he hasn't thrown very often tonight, but he's thrown it to Jack a couple of times.
Yep.
And he put it right on the corner.
Struck him out with it in the 6th inning.
He's made some pitches on Clark. Jack has struck out twice and he's walked. Leads the club in home runs. He leads the club in RBIs. And he could add to those totals right now to the liking of all Cardinal fans. Good sinking fastball. You see him turn it over and make it sink. Now he has Clark 0-2. He had him 0-2 last time. Didn't waste anything. He put the fastball over the outside corner. Well, we haven't had a wild pitch tonight. Do I sound like I'm begging?
A little.
Wishful thinking? I'll take anything. But if I have my prefers, as they say, I'll take a salami. A grand salami. Ooh, he just missed with it.
That's a pitch he struck him out on in the 6th inning, and it just missed.
You have to have the eyes of an eagle and the nerves of a steel man to take that baby just outside. You couldn't have argued if he'd have called that a strike either. Our man up in the booth tonight, Alex Williams, St. Louisan, transplanted down here in the eyes of Texas. He's wearing his Cardinal red tonight. He's rooting for us. Better root hard right now, Alex. Let's see what he's going to come with. The old curveball. Ryan's got a curve too, man. That thing is sharp breaking, and it bakes about a foot and a half. He had him 0-2. It's now 2-2. It's Coleman at third. Ozzie at second. Pendleton with a 16-game hitting streak on at first. No room for Clark. I'd like to see a 3-2 count. Let everybody run. There it is, full count. Pendleton will go from first. Ozzie off of second. And Vince Coleman will count to 3 before he moves off of third, unless he wants to visit the emergency. Vince will take about 6 steps off to his right in foul territory to make sure he's not ripped off by a line drive. He'll get even further out as he starts home. 1-1 tie, bases loaded, 2 out, 3-2 count here in the 7th. And this big helmet night crowd here in the Astrodome is holding their breath. Clark digging in. 2 of the best in the game. He walked it, and the Cards lead 2-1. That's the 3rd walk here in the inning, the 6th in the game, and that's all for Nolan Ryan. Well, he just got a little too tired here, Jay. He is coming back from some problems and some injuries, and he leaves the ball game now. He'll get a big hand, and in comes Lopez. And while they make the switch, let's take timeout for this. Struck out twice against Nolan Ryan. And a good screwball from Lopez is in at the knees. Lopez has every pitch you've ever imagined.
And some you don't even know about.
That's correct. And he'll throw them all. Lopez has been around for a number of years. Former Cardinal hurler. And he threw the fastball by Willie.
A Mexican matador. Lives now down in Laredo, Texas. Signed as a free agent in March of '67 with La Chapas in the Mexican League. Pitched there until he came to the Cardinals in '78. Then went to Detroit.
Those 2 years he had in that Mexican League, Jay, he put together some unbelievable figures.
He was 19-8 in '77. Remarkable. His best year in the big leagues was in Detroit in '84 when he was 10-1.
Oh, drop in there. Thank you very much. That is about as sweet as strawberry pie, man, in the month of January. Willie McGee struggling at the plate. He choked up, leaned over, and he got himself a big RBI hit there. In comes Ozzie to score, and the Cardinals now lead 3-1. Boy, that was some base hit for Willie. That's what you have to do when you're struggling. He placed it perfectly, didn't he? And Dickie Thon saves at least one run as he hustled over to get it. Ozzie comes in to score, and now it's Tommy Herr. Herr got a big hit in the 6th. With 2 outs, he drove home Ozzie with the first Cardinal run of the game. We're now in the 7th. Bases are still loaded, 2 down. And now is when we need that gapper, 1 up the alley. A little low, ball 1. Well, this Cardinal club just keeps coming after you, don't they, Jay? They are fighting, scratching, and they're on top in the East. Chance to pick up a full game on Chicago. Cubbies lost today at home. Outside again, ball 2. In this inning, Nolan Ryan got Lake to ground to short. He struck out Tim Conroy. Then he walked Vince Coleman on a 3-2 pitch. He walked Ozzie on a 3-1. Pendleton got an infield single. Clark ran the count full 3-2 after being in the hole 0-2. He walked to send in the potential winning run. Tough play for Dorn. He makes it. Davis gets back in time, and the inning comes to a close. So the Cardinals can score only the 2 runs. They do so on 2 base hits. They leave 3. They've stranded 9 in this game. 7th inning stretch time in the Astrodome. Cards lead 3-1.
Any good lawnmower will start quickly, so don't be taken in by fast-starting claims.
6 hits and no errors for the Redbirds. 1-4-0 for the Astros. 7th inning here at the Dome. Of course, the Eyewitness News update follows our baseball tonight, and that means John Pertzborn's visit to Albuquerque tonight. And we enjoyed having John with us earlier this evening. Mike Bush will bring you up to date on all of the baseball and other news from the world of sport. Alan Ashby here in the bottom of the 7th. Redbirds trying to make it 3 in a row.
Now, Tim Conroy's been on the bench for a long time.
Yes, he has 2nd time in the game, really.
This will be a very important inning for the Cardinal left-hander. He has pitched a whale of a ball game.
Cardinal bullpen is busy.
Oh, he just misses outside. Yeah, a couple of hurlers. Ray Soft, a right-hander, and Rick Hart, a left-hander, loosening. Timmy has to get it done right here. This is when you really have to kick yourself. Alan Ashby just misses a home run. I hope he misses it. Nope. Yeah, he just missed it. He'll wind up with a double. He missed the home run by what, 3 inches?
Yeah, and
I had to talk that one down, man.
Coleman trying to time his leap, but he Couldn't come up with the catch out there.
Let's take a look. See how close this thing comes to a home run. There's Vince back. Ball keeps carrying. He's backpedaling. And up. He can't jump very well.
That was
now.
a problem. He couldn't time the leap quite the way he wanted because he had already hit the wall.
Another look at it. Hits the wall. Now comes away. Now leaps. And he got high enough, but the ball was just a little off to his left. It was catchable. And now the tying run at the plate. Dickie Thon. Thon is 2 for 2 tonight. A pair of singles. Change up a little low. Whitey Herzog pacing in the Cardinal dugout. He has a very close eye on Tim Conroy. He is talking it over with his pitching coach, Mike Rourke. Good pitch, fastball, tail back in, 1-1. Jim Pankovich, a guy that's made a living off the Cardinals in the past few years. He's the on-deck man. He'll hit for Lopez. Delivery. Tailing fastball. Man, was that a good pitch. So important if you can make that fastball do a number of things. Conroy has a straight fastball that rides. This time he turned it over a little bit, and that hurler sees the fastball coming. He goes out after it, and then it dips away. Don will cut his swing down now. 1-2 the count. That'll play for Terry. Runner will stay at second, 1 away. Don retired for the first time tonight. And in comes Pankovich, the pinch hitter.
We're talking about Pankovich against the Cardinals. He has a lifetime .349 batting average.
Seems like it's .490.
Well, it does, I know, but it is .349 to be exact.
His high hit game ever in his big league career came against the Cardinals right here in this ballpark. I think he had, in a 1 week, he had a 3 or a 4 hit game.
4 hits last time on August the 24th of '86 at St. Louis.
Then he came right back here.
Got a 3-hit game.
And he got a 3-hit game against us.
Right.
You're correct. What a memory you have, Jennings.
He's
there
a
you see
Virginian.
Oh, that's why you know his stats so well. Well, how about a pop-up? A little outside, ball 1. Cardinal hurlers in the bullpen. Now to stop to watch the action.
Went to school at the University of South Carolina. He is from Pennington Gap, Virginia. Lives now in Richmond.
Pennington Gap. Is that anywhere near the Shenandoah Valley?
It's
within shouting distance.
It's shouting distance.
Well, good. He's 0 for 1 tonight as he bounces off to Tommy Hearn. I like those guys from Virginia, but not that much. I'm glad he made it out. How about a station identification for all of our great folks around the continental U.S.? And this is the Cardinals Television Network.
KSDK, Channel 5 in St. Louis.
Billy Hatcher, 0 for 3 tonight. He is having a very fine season. On the curveball, he's out in front of it. Hatcher has hit safely in 5 of his last 6. Tonight he's lined hard to right, fly to center, and grounded out to the second baseman. He has a man at third. Alan Ashby, 2 outs here in the 7th inning. Cardinals leading 3-1. Conroy trying to pick up his 3rd win of the year. Tough play for her. He gets to it. Can he throw him out? No. Pull him off the base. It'll be a base hit. And in comes the second Houston run. Herr did about all he could, but he just couldn't get the ball down close enough where Clark could keep his foot on the base.
He's racing so hard to get to the ball and wheels and throws and just a bit high.
That was a problem for him, but a bigger problem was the fact that he couldn't grip the ball properly. And when he had to hustle his throw, he didn't have a good grip on it, and that's why it sailed high. And now we're going to have a double switch. As out comes Whitey Herzog. He's going to make a pitching change here.
Okendo will come into the game.
Tim Conroy is going to lead. You see Okendo into the ball game. He'll bat in the number 9 spot, and Herr will leave the contest, and the new pitcher will be Rick Carton. He will bat in Tommy Herr's slot.
Well, while we have this pitching change, we're able to take a break. And also, for those of you in St. Louis, we'll get a news update from our good friend Huel Perkins. Back with more right after this.
This is a Channel 5 Eyewitness News update.
This is Huel Perkins. A hospital becomes a courtroom as a judge orders a St. Louis woman to have a C-section to deliver her baby. We'll have a night beat report on the controversy. Plus, John Pertzborn takes us to the desert Southwest to see if Albuquerque is really more livable than St. Louis. Join us for the news after the bowl game.
Clearance for takeoff to Las Vegas in Southern California.
Right now, get a 2-for-1 coach airfare certificate on Jet America Airlines when you buy a taco salad and large Pepsi from Taco Bell. That's right, say hello to a free 2-for-1 flight certificate for the price of a salad and large Pepsi. So if you want to make your lunch money go a little further,
slow night.
Just wait.
Hi, Eddie.
Hey, it's my lucky lady.
Come on, give me what. Give me the usual, Eddie. 259.
Hey, that's my seat.
Come on.
Introducing Pick 3 from the Missouri Lottery.
Welcome to tonight's Pick 3 drawing.
It's another new way to play every single day.
Tonight's winning numbers are...
Oh, Eddie, I can't look.
Pick 3. You can play every day and watch at night.
Slow night, huh? You just wait.
Rick Horton is on the hill, and he throws over to first base, where Billy Hatcher is stationed now. Hatcher representing the tying run. 7th inning, 3-2 Cardinals. Again, here's Mike.
Hatcher is number 3 in the National League in the stolen base department. He's pilfered 14. Then he draws yet another throw. Timmy Conroy goes 6 2/3, gives 2 runs, 6 hits, struck out a man, walked 3. He did a whale of a job, and he outpitched Nolan Ryan. You see the statistics on Rick Carton against Houston here in 1987. Boy, we got an argument.
Oh, boy, do we. He must be complaining about a balk.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's complaining about. And Hal Lanier is just he's trying to stir up his club right now. And Harden, he knows Harden. He knows him very well, and he knows that he doesn't balk, but he knows every once in a while that that gate just about didn't come open. Hal almost broke his knee. So Hal Lanier, he's trying everything to get his club back on the ball. A little outside with that tailing delivery. Bill Doran's at the dish. He's walked twice tonight and single. He's been on base all 3 times. Martin's going to have to put out the fire. We're in the 7th. Cardinals trying to make it 3 in a row. A little lower with the sinker. We've got folks all over the U.S. tuned in tonight. Davenport, Iowa. Jackson, Tennessee. Marshalltown, Iowa. Doc Robinson and his family up there tuned in just outside of Marshalltown.
Great earth up there, boy. That black earth.
Pete Vanaken and all the guys and gals are tuned in up in Peoria. Good fastball. 2-1. And of course, in St. Louis on KSDK-TV, our flagship station. And watching down in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Columbia, Missouri, Decatur, Illinois. Good sinker. 2-2. Jeff City, Missouri. All the senators, House of Representatives.
The politicos are all down there,
watching tonight. Jonesboro, Arkansas. Hoy Stacy and everybody down in Paducah, Kentucky tuned in. The runner going, and he'll have to make a left turn and head in as Harton takes care of Dorn. The 7th inning comes to a close. 1 Houston run on 2 Astro hits. They leave a man. They've stranded 6. And they're also watching down in Springfield, Missouri. We've completed 7. Cards lead 3-2.
As the years go by and the world turns faster and we're all chasing changes. Let it be. I won't mind, 'cause I know some things always stay the same, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me.
Something as special as friendship deserves a special beer. That's why for over 100 years, friendships have been formed and kept over the quality beers of Anheuser-Busch.
Stand by me. Oh, stand.
What a hit! Your Lennox air conditioning pro is playing a whole new ball game. Don't miss it because he's pitching a 12-month shutout. See your participating Lennox dealer for 12-month 0% financing or up to a $125 cash rebate on selected Lennox air conditioning products.
Mike, Joe, and Jay Barrett, the fourth generation of Barretts to serve the greater Alton area with expert sales and service of quality products.
For a free estimate, call Robert or Tom at Donahue Heating and Cooling.
Remember, at Donahue, our goal is customer satisfaction.
At Meineke Discount Mufflers,
I'm not going to pay a lot for this muffler.
you're not going to pay a lot because Meineke's muffler prices start from $18.93 installed.
I would like to remind you that the scoreboard is brought to you by your local Edward D. Jones and Company investment reps, and you want to visit an office near you for free personal financial organization. And Atlanta this afternoon beats Chicago. Tonight, New York over Los Angeles. San Francisco over Philadelphia 2-1. Pittsburgh 4-1 over Cincinnati. Those are all finals in Montreal and San Diego. They're playing out on the coast. And the Padres lead at 2-0 fourth inning.
And Houston employs a new hurler. It's a left-hander, a rookie. He's come up through the Houston organization. And his name is Dave Meads. He's 6 foot, 175, from New Jersey. He was all over last year. Asheville, Tuscaloosa, Columbus, and a few other stops on the way. Let's see if the Cards can get some more runs, Jennings.
Tony Pena is the pinch hitter. There's Dave Meads. Three and 1 with a 4.61 ERA. Pena on the ground. Out to Doran. Pena will catch here tomorrow night.
Nice to see Tony back in action after sustaining that broken thumb in the third game of the season. Whitey Herzog once again takes advantage of getting somebody in the game at the proper time.
Lake tonight has doubled and grounded out twice.
Pena was pinch hitting for Ford.
Ford was 1 for 3 on the evening. Well, he's done an excellent job. First pitch is a ball.
Just because a guy's hitting 350, you say he's doing a good job?
Yes, I'll say that anytime.
Oh, I see.
That's inside. Speaking of inside at Channel 5, we have the Show Me 5 shop for you. They're open weekdays, Monday through Friday, and that's from 10 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon. You can pick up your favorite NBC and KSDK merchandise, the T-shirts. That Bushliger T-shirt is a great item to have. On the ground, and it is fun and safe.
All right.
Infield single for Lake, and he's 2 for 4.
And that's a big, big hit for Steve Lake, because that's the 100th career base hit for the Cardinal catcher. And
Garner came over here, and it went off his glove.
I guarantee you, Lake never thought he'd get his 100th base hit on an infield single.
He'd take it any. And Jack was kidding me about the fact that he can't run.
Yeah, we'll have to get on him. Now we have a pinch runner that's come into.
That's John Morris.
Morris will run, and that means Pena will probably stay in the game and do the catching.
And Oquendo comes to the dish for the first time. You'll remember when they made the double switch, Oquendo.
That White is something. He
came in.
He gets Pena in the game to pinch hit for Ford. He'll stay in the game because Lake gets the hit, and he uses Morris, so he's going to put in the ball game in right field for Ford to run for Lake.
Out in right field, Bass in fair territory. And Oquendo has flied out to right. Reminder about that Show Me 5 shop that we have at KSDK. Got some great looking golf shirts and coffee mugs, the David Letterman t-shirt, the NBC Sports and KSDK Sports t-shirts, the Show Me 5 t-shirts, just all kinds of memorabilia and good stuff. So drop by, won't you? 10 to 2 weekdays, the Show Me 5 shop.
When are they going to come out with a Jennings shirt, man? I want to get a couple of thousand of those.
A couple of thousand, yes. That's at 1000 Market Street in St. Louis, KSDK, and our Show Me 5 shop right there off the entrance. One strike the count.
Got any beer steins up there?
Got mugs. We have mugs. You could put beer in them. Coleman tonight has struck out twice, lined out. He walked, stole a base,
don't think I'm going to put root beer in it, do you?
Not you, I'm sure of that. 3-2, the Cardinals lead it here.
Can I put them in the freezer and make them nice, cold, and frosty?
You sure can. Nice and frosty. Coleman facing Meads, the third pitcher of the night. Ryan went 6 2/3. High chopper again off the glove. It gets by, and on the move all the way over to third comes Morris. Well, we've had 2 grounders go off the glove of Garner. Infield single for Coleman.
Curveball. Puts the ball in play. That's all Vince has been instructed to do. Just put it in play. And if he puts it in play, he'll be a fellow that comes up with a tremendous on-base percentage.
I talked earlier about the rather mediocre left side of the infield here. I think it's one of their problems. I really do. And also one of their problems this year is that they are hunted rather than the hunter. I mean, everybody knows what they did last year.
Well, how about the huntee in this match?
The huntee would be all right, too. Smith is grounded out. He's walked. He's singled and scored and walked and scored.
I want a print out of those comments, man. Get some runs there. We need some insurance.
Be nice. Morris is down there at third. Coleman over at first. 2 out. Cardinals leading at 3-2 in the 8th. Fouled away.
Ozzie had his pitch there, didn't he?
1 ball and 1 strike. Ozzie Smith, 32 years of age last December, born in Mobile, Alabama. Picked up his 7th straight Gold Glove last season. Bulked up over the winter. Runner goes, strike on the inside corner. And a stolen base for Coleman, his 2nd of the night, and that is 28 on the season. So runners now at 2nd and 3rd, and 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ozzie. Nice to pick these up, Mike, no question about that.
Anytime you can beat Nolan Ryan and get out of town, you got to be happy.
Here's a fly ball into center field. Hatcher backing up.
He messed it up.
And it's off the wall. And 2 runs will score. And it's a double for Ozzie. And Hatcher didn't have any idea.
He wasn't listening to you. You just got finished explaining that Ozzie's been all winter muscling up. And he thought it was Ozzie Smith of 86, but it wasn't. It's Ozzie Smith of 87. That ball just kept carrying. Watch these big, strong muscles turn over. Boom.
RBIs.
You think that ball's not juiced up? He hit it off the end of the bat, and he hit it 390 feet away.
Boy, Hatcher was asleep out there.
It's all right with me, man. He can take a siesta anytime he wants.
5-2, St. Louis. Here's Pendleton. He's flied out twice, walked and singled. Pendleton's hitting streak continuing.
Boy, those are big runs.
And some of the faithful here are taking their batting helmets and heading home. Took something off that one. So Meads has come on here in the 8th and not been able to get the job done. Dave Meads from New Jersey. 1-1 at Columbus last year. Mike told you before that he had pitched at Osceola and at Asheville. This is back and out of play. And makes a nice catch. The Astros moved out on top with a run. Davis with a double, scoring Doran, who had walked. Cardinals tied it in the 6th. Down the line.
Yes,
and
he'll run for about. Oh, he got a bad break.
Got a bad kick. It kicked off, and at second base, Pendleton is in with a double, and it is now a 6-2 game.
Well, you can just keep on scoring runs, Jennings. I had plenty of time tonight.
All right, I'm glad of that. Pendleton picks up his 25th RBI of the year, a scorcher down the line.
And here comes a very dejected Houston manager, Hal Lanier. Man, he's had his woes down here this year, and he's going to change pitchers again.
They lose this game, they will have lost 6 of their last 7 here in the Dome. And we get the pitching change, and the Cardinals have a 4-run advantage. We're in the 8th inning, back with more right after this.
A lot of places will guarantee your parts to last for a time. After that, well, it's a dead issue. But there's another place that will guarantee your parts for a lifetime. Your starters, alternators, brakes, water pumps, and on. Because we believe that the parts you buy today should work for you tomorrow. Auto Shack. We've got the warranty of a lifetime.
If you love shrimp, McDonald's introduces a brand new taste. New shrimp salad. Toss me a salad with dozens of shrimp. Toss it for me fresh all day. New McDonald's shrimp salad. Take it any place. It's a good time for the great taste. From McDonald's.
If you're like most, your financial record keeping leaves something to be desired. Well, here's that something. The Personal Financial Organizer, free from your local Edward D. Jones & Company investment representative. It's a simple, easy-to-use tool full of forms, worksheets, and information. Everything you need to organize your money matters for financial planning, tax preparation, or just peace of mind. Ask for yours today at any Edward D. Jones & Company office, because when it comes to money, knowing what you have is the first step to getting what you want.
St. Louis Cardinal Baseball is brought to you by your St. Louis Toyota dealers and Toyota, the maker of quality cars and trucks. Julio Solano is the new pitcher. Jack Clark at the plate. And Jack was trying to put one in the seats out there in left center. He is struck out, walked. Then in the 6th, he struck out again. He got a walk and an RBI, and that chased Ryan in the 7th inning.
Right now, that's the game-winning RBI.
Yes, it is. 1 strike to Clark. And a fastball that's hit right up the middle. Pendleton will come home to score, and it is 7-2.
And that's 4 hits in a row, 5 in the inning. That run charged to Meads. He's now been touched for 4. So the starter, Ryan, gave 3. Meads gives 4. And the Cardinals have that magic number, 7-11.
Clark now with A pair of RBIs tonight, up to 37 on the year, and a happy bunch of Redbirds.
I guarantee you there's more people in the parking lot right now than here in the old ball yard.
You are right there. McGee is grounded out, struck out twice, and Willie singled and got an RBI in the 7th. 1 strike to him. Reminder, of course, the Eyewitness News update will be coming up when the action here is completed. John Pertzborn has been sitting here with us tonight. His series comes to a close tonight. Another hit. Runners at first and second with 2 out. And Ricky Horton is the 9th man to come to bat in this inning, and I don't think he was thinking about that about 10 minutes ago.
Tell you, Ricky was sick as a dog yesterday, man. He had the flu, and he sat out the ball game. He was in the training room. Said he feels a lot better today than he did yesterday, and if he gets this, which would be the 6th base hit in a row, he might be 100% well. Feeling that way anyway.
Horton standing in against Julio Solano. Fouls it away, had a cut. Solano began the year at Tucson last season, came up with the big club, was 3-1 here. He is from La Romana in the Dominican Republic. Signed as a free agent here in '79. Change up and a swing and a miss, and it is 0-2.
I don't care if Ricky gets a hit here or not, if he can get 6 outs.
That misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Two and 2. The Redbirds had 210 runs scored coming into tonight's game, and put 7 on the board here in the Astrodome.
What have they been averaging? About 5 in the last 5 games.
This is popped up. Let's see if there's a play. There is. Ashby comes back and makes the play. The Cardinals come up with 4 runs on 6 hits. Strand 2. And we'll go into the bottom of the 8th inning with St. Louis leading 7-2.
I'm here on the floor of the Toyota Stock Exchange, where 106,000 blue-chip deals will be made on all Toyota cars and trucks.
The trading frenzy starts. We have a tender offer on the new Tercel. Bidding is brisk on roomy Corollas and Camrys, with options going at a furious pace. Ginny Mae's bid on a new standard bed truck came through at her price.
Trading has never been better, so you're going to make your best blue-chip deal ever.
I've come for silver.
Of course, he want new Amoco silver.
It's high time folks had something better than regular unleaded.
You sure know your gasoline.
Oh, friend, my car knows.
For better performance than regular unleadeds, try pure Amoco silver.
Grandpa, who was that masked man?
I don't know, son, but his car knows.
Oh, silver!
Every second of every minute of every hour of every day, the Southwestern Bell telephone network is there, so you can be with anyone, anytime, anywhere.
Okay, I just really needed to hear your voice.
This spring, do it yourself with advice from lumber experts. Do it yourself with Essen. Essen Hardware and Lumber.
John Morris is now in right field for the Cardinals. Behind the plate, boy, is it good to see Tony Pena. Reminder that Tom Pagnozzi is back to Louisville. Pena activated. Horton on the hill against Cruz. The first pitch is in there for a strike. Well, we mentioned the Eyewitness News update running a little late. That means that John Pertzborn's final segment on Albuquerque and St. Louis, the end of a week's work and visits for John, is running a little late tonight. John, I hope you've enjoyed the game.
Oh, it's been great from up here. The view is spectacular, Jay Bird.
And to spend an evening with Mike Shannon. That's special, isn't it?
Oh, that is something that only happens once in a lifetime, I think.
Believe me.
About all you can stand, right, John?
The play,
watch out,
he couldn't make it. It was in foul ground, and Vince going over there right at the point where that wall juts out. And he's all right, but that was kind of dangerous right there, isn't it, Mike?
Well, they never said this game was easy. You just have to pick your spots. And Vince was very alert in saving that spectacular play for another day.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Cruz, who has flied out 3 times.
Anyway, he knew that Harden was going to come back and get him on this pitch.
John, what can you tell me about Albuquerque that'll keep these people awake for a little while longer now tonight?
Well, it's 10:30, and I think within 15 minutes, if they don't fall asleep, they're going to enjoy it. We've got some great singers in this story. You'll see what's
Red ball.
Oh, yeah.
And Cruz is going for 3. That ball hit just inside the line down there, and Morris or Clark, neither one could quite get to it.
That's what happens when I start talking.
Well, hey.
This is what you call measuring it off just right. Watch how close this is to the line. It hits about 3 inches fair.
Morris looking at the line. He just couldn't get there.
Then he turned around to see what the umpire called it. You don't have to worry about the umpire. You just got to go get it. Don't worry. He'll call a fair or foul.
Glenn Davis doubled, got the RBI in the first. He's grounded out and struck out since then. Cardinals lead at 7-2, bottom of the 8th inning. That Montreal at San Diego game is now in the 5th, 2-2.
Oh, where was that pitch,
That
Jim
must
Quick?
have been low.
Or high, or inside, or outside. Can we have a replay on that, baby?
I don't think we need to. 2 balls and no strikes. Outside of third, 2-1. On the American League scores down for you. 3rd inning at Seattle. Toronto's leading 1-0. Milwaukee defeated Cleveland 4-2. Detroit 3-2 over Minnesota. Kansas City 8-1 over Texas.
Jay, that Monday game in St. Louis now is a little different starting time.
5:30, isn't it?
5:30, 5:35, and then after the game, we'll have the big fireworks display. Is that Monday?
Well, that's 30th. I think we have some
down at the riverfront.
Oh, the salute to KSDK.
It's on Saturday the 30th.
Well, that was close.
Yeah, you're just,
you know, it's only 6 days difference. What the heck?
Balk. They called a balk.
So you weren't concentrating.
I was concentrating.
You were thinking about the fireworks, and
I was trying to figure out what date Monday is. Yeah.
What day is Monday? That's more like it now.
That's right. Well, it's now 7-3. Horton's a little upset. Two and 2 the count. Three and 2. Astros got 1 in the first. Cardinals tied it in the 6th. Redbirds went ahead with 2 in the 7th. Astros got 1 in the 7th. Cardinals getting 4 in the 8th, and now the Astros have 1 here in their half of the 8th inning. New York's playing at California. They're just underway, and the Yankees lead it 1-0. And Baltimore is at Oakland in the 2nd inning. It is 4-3. Way back. And a home run for Glenn Davis, his 6th of the season.
That'll get the Cardinal bullpen busy. Rick Harden got that off-speed delivery a little too high on you. When you make them high to a guy like Davis, they don't come down. Not in the ballpark anyway. A little word of encouragement from Jack Clark. Redbird lead now is only 3. See that ball up, boy. When you get it up, especially to these big guys, it goes for about a $9 cab ride.
Todd Worrell is heating up down the left side. Mike Rourke is headed out to talk things over with the left-hander.
And what they'd like here is for Horton to get through this ball game and save Todd Worrell for another day.
In your interview with Whitey Herzog in the special that was seen in St. Louis prior to tonight's action, Whitey indicated that he would not pitch Daly tonight, didn't he?
Well, Daly, as you know, is coming off a very delicate and serious operation. He had a ligament transplanted into his elbow. He took a ligament out of the right wrist and transplanted into the left elbow. Dr. Joe out in Los Angeles performed the operation. And Jay, that's a remarkable comeback. You know, that operation has been performed before, and the first one and the most notable is Tommy John.
Right.
I got a great kick out of Tommy's quote the other day. He's 40-some years old, and so they were asking him about how much longer he could pitch. He says, well, I'm 43 or whatever he is. He says, but my arm's only 13, so I got a lot of years left.
I'll tell you, it's a good line, is right. Fouled away, 0-2. Bill Garner has flied to center twice and popped out. Garner's been around a long, long time.
Scrap iron, they call it.
Yeah, scrap iron. He has 10 career home runs against the Cardinals. Kevin Bass is on deck. It's a 7-4 game. Bottom of the 8th inning. Just missed outside. Horton went to the University of Virginia at Charlottesville. He's from New York State. Inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He's from Poughkeepsie, isn't it?
Right. Just north of West Point.
I bet you got A's in geography all the time.
In the right, Morris is there.
Out of here.
And finally, there's one gone.
Were you a straight A student in geography?
I was not a straight A student in anything.
Well, wait a minute now. Golf, man. You got A's in golf, did you?
Yeah, I got A's in golf. I did that by skipping class a few times, I'm afraid. Kevin Bass has flied out twice in the 4th, deep against the wall and left. And he's grounded out. He's 0 for 3.
You know, you're talking about Whitey in the interview before the ball game. Herzog maps out, and his strategy for the bullpen is like one of Patton's battle.
Another one into right. Morris came in, now going back, and is there. 2 gone.
Like one of Patton's battle procedures, man. He's got everything mapped out. He knows just exactly how he wants to use each particular player down there. And he discussed that phase of his bullpen as you see the master walking up and down there and thinking. Now, here we are in the 8th inning. Nobody on, 2 down. Herzog's thinking about the 9th inning somewhere. He's way past this inning. He's already got this one set in his mind.
Ashby has grounded out, flied out, doubled and scored.
But see, he was talking about Daly, and he's only able to use Daly because of doctor instructions about once every 3 days. So now he's got to have a new game plan. He's got to figure out how he's going to use Ken Daly every 3 days, who he's going to use in the other 2, left-handed, right-handed.
Doubt if there's been another team in Major League Baseball that has used as many different players as the Cardinals had at this point in the proceedings.
Well, I guarantee you one thing. When you're on Whitey Herzog, here's a catcher's interference. He took a swing and he hit Pena's glove, so that's catcher's interference. It's an error on the catcher. Let's take another look at it. You see the bat just tip Pena's glove. You couldn't see it there. Maybe you can see it from this angle. Look where Tony's glove is. You think he's not up there a little quick? Just tipped it as he went by there.
This is Dickie Thon. He has a couple of singles. He's stolen a base and grounded out tonight. Charlie Williams, the first base umpire, who's had a couple of tough calls and a little heat. Did our young man up here in the booth, Alex Williams, get to say hello to his
his mother Doris in St. Louis tonight.
Ozzie makes the play over to Okendo.
Looks like one of those pitchback machines, doesn't it?
2 runs on 2 hits. There was the error on catcher's interference. After 8 full, Cardinals lead it 7-4.
It's a tradition as old as the land itself. Your country calls, and you come. Your country asks you to give, and you give. And you do it all because you believe in your country. So to all the men and women who serve, Budweiser is proud to return your salute.
Gain the winning edge and team up with this week's most valuable players at Schnucks. Make a hometown hit with a 2-pound can of Folgers coffee for just $3.99. Wash out tough ground-in dirt with Tide detergent. The 42-ounce box is just $1.79. And for a great squeeze play, the 4-roll pack of Charmin bath tissue is just 99 cents. Stand up and cheer for this week's most valuable players at Schnucks.
Clearance for takeoff to Las Vegas in Southern California.
Right now, get a 2-for-1 coach airfare certificate on Jet America Airlines when you buy a taco salad and large Pepsi from Taco Bell. That's right, say hello to a free 2-for-1 flight certificate for the price of a salad and large Pepsi. So if you want to make your lunch money go a little further,
St. Louis Cardinals baseball is brought to you by your neighborhood Taco Bell restaurant. Say hello to Taco Bell. There's the line score, 7-12-1, 4-8-0 for the Astros. Redbirds with a 3-run advantage. Second time to the plate for Tony Pena. Pena activated here for this weekend series. Tom Pagnozzi sent back to Louisville. Pena grounded out in the 8th. That's inside for a ball. John Pertzborn, I'm wondering, is this the first time you've seen a baseball game indoors? You're thinking. We're thinking.
John's
doing
he's outside right now, and he's trying to figure it out.
Oh, I just got back.
There you are. 2 balls and no strikes to Pena. First time you've seen one inside?
This is the first.
Yeah. What's your feeling about baseball indoors?
My honest opinion?
Yep.
I don't like it.
And you wouldn't like it outdoors here either because you'd be sitting in the rain most of the time.
John, when we used to play in the old ballpark here, it was called Colt 45 Stadium. When you come to the ballpark, we had those wool uniforms, and they'd be hanging in the clubhouse. They were already completely saturated
because of the
humidity.
They say it's worse here than in St. Louis.
Oh, it is. Believe me, and it rains here. And let me tell you something, Mike. How about those mosquitoes at that old ballpark? The biggest I ever saw.
Well, I remember one time
3 balls and 1 strike.
They picked up a guy off of first base, and they put